What's up, Hawk fans? This is Emma Welch here at Game Day Hawk Talk.
And I'm Cheyenne Jacobs, another Hawk Talk host.
I'm Crew Mathern.
I'm Tiger Fry.
I'm Pete Leno.
As you see here, we're joined with 2 All-Americans and a DSU legendary coach. Obviously, these guys know a bit more about the game of football than me and Cheyenne do. We are very not great at it. So hopefully you guys can help us out here because we are not good with football.
It's also freezing cold, so.
Hawk weather. This is hawk weather. All right, so let's recap the season so far, Cheyenne.
All right, DSU currently stands at 8-1. I believe that is overall. We are number 15 in the recent national poll, and we played Valley City last week and won with a score of 42-24.
That was an away game there in Valley City. All right, this week is senior week, and we want to just thank all of our DSU football seniors for being so dedicated for all their years here. There's 19 seniors on the roster this year. Can you guys tell us a little bit about your guys' senior year here at DSU?
Yeah, mine was last year, and we had a great team last year. We got our first playoff win in, I think it was like 6-7 years, so that was a pretty cool memory. Pretty great time to be a Blue Hawk, and yeah, it was just a great time last year.
Yeah, I kind of had an interesting career, so I actually had 2 senior years, which is out of the ordinary. I got the extra COVID year, so 2 senior years, but yeah, both years ended well. We made the playoffs both years, got 1 playoff win in those 2 games, so yeah, it's just a great experience.
My senior year, that was a long time ago. well, Jimmy Carter was president, but I played at Valley City, and we won conference and got to a national playoff game, so it was a fun time.
Awesome. All right, so Will Madler and Carson Hunter, they're 2 of our quarterbacks here at DSU. They're seniors, which is sad and exciting all at the same time to see them going off and doing all their things, but that means the young Jace Freeze is up next for quarterback for DSU football, which is exciting. Cheyenne, tell us a little bit about Will Madler.
So Will Madler just had an article written on him about type 1 diabetes, and it was Type 1 Diabetes Awareness Day, and he kind of shared his experience about how he was diagnosed and how he's been living with that in football. And so that's kind of cool to hear his story and kind of show how he's been able to still play football and still succeed really well in football with that. We also have Chris Kistler, who is a senior this year. He's also a fellow Hawk Talk host. So, yeah, he's been a senior for like 12 years, I swear. He's like 54 now. But we're super sad that he's leaving. He really brings a light to Hawk Talk, and so that's upsetting. But we're excited to see where he goes in life. Emma, do you want to talk about today's theme?
What'd you say? Oh, today's theme. So today's theme for the football game is last ride, and I'm really, really sad about this. This is the last ride for the NSAA, the North Star Athletic Association. And you guys played in the NSAA your whole career, right? Is it kind of sad to see it dissolve, or are we looking forward to better things in the Frontier Conference? A little more competitive?
Yeah, it's a little sad to see that North Star is going to be gone, but at the same time, there's going to be more competition in the Frontier, so I think that's going to strengthen DSU more, and so I'm pretty excited to watch it next year and the years following.
Right.
Yeah, no, I have similar thoughts for sure. I'm from Montana, Billings, Montana, so I kind of grew up seeing the Frontier Conference teams playing. My dad's a graduate. He's like in the Rocky Mountain College Hall of Fame over there in one of those football teams, so I think it's going to be good overall for DSU. I think, they've obviously proven that the North Star belongs to the Blue Hawks, so I'm excited for them to have some new teams, some new challenges ahead of them.
It will definitely be a good move going to the Frontier. It'll be interesting for the fans. It'll be for the kids. It's going to be the fun experience playing against a little better competition week in, week out.
Right. So the Blue Hawks won the North Star Conference for the last 10 years. and they won it for the last time this year. So just what you guys said, the Blue Hawks own the Frontier Conference, or not the Frontier Conference, the North Star Conference, which is pretty exciting. All right, Cheyenne, on to you.
We have a potential playoff game, or home playoff game next week, so we'll see. I don't know. Do you guys know when it comes out? Sunday?
Yeah, usually Sunday evening they all get together upstairs, and yeah, there's always a selection show we watch.
Yeah, is that super, like that team camaraderie? Is that really fun up there when you guys get together?
Yeah, no, it's definitely an enjoyable experience. It's usually right after practice, so you're looking forward to seeing who you get to play, and then yeah, it's just a super fun experience getting to see same time as everybody else who you're going to go play that next week.
Yeah, so we'll see if that becomes a home game. We're excited. Hopefully it does. We would get to host a playoff game, which would be really cool for the students and for the Blue Hawks in general. I think that would be a pretty cool atmosphere to be in. Last time we played the lesser DSU, who we are playing today. We're playing Dakota State. The Blue Hawks came out on top, winning 38-21. So hopefully it is another good game this week, and we're excited to see what happens.
All right, now we're going to talk a little bit about you guys. So you guys are our honorary captains selected by the DSU Heritage Foundation, and it's a little bit of a memory to the NSAA. Coach Leno, you coached here from 1991 to 2024, not consecutively, but around 30 years.
Long time, 91 to 2010, and then 2017 through 20.
So, do you know when the last time DSU hosted a playoff game was?
I believe it was 2004. We hosted both first and second round games. If I remember right, we hosted Montana Tech first round and Carroll second round. The year before that, we hosted. The team from Tennessee that came up. You think this is cold? You should have been there for that day. It was.
Coach Leno, I hate to tell you, but Cheyenne and I weren't even born at that point in 2004.
Well, that doesn't surprise.
Cheyenne was a newborn. I was still in the womb.
But,
I was not even here.
From 1986 to 2004, there's quite a number of games that DSU hosted, and the community really supported it well. Even semifinal games. So yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of cold, Tiger's over here shaking.
I was a receiver.
He's shaking. He's freezing.
Tiger's gonna be on the sidelines or in the president's suite, but if he was on the sidelines, he'd be right in front of those heaters warming up. Got to keep his hands warm. All right. So Coach Leno, Xander Beeson asked us to ask you about peace, love, and Woodstock. Can you tell us what that means? Because I was caught off guard.
It was just a teacher I had way back when. At the end of a class period, instead of saying "have a good day" or what, you just say "peace, love, and Woodstock," and it's just something I carried with. So it has no significant meaning other than it resonated with me back in the 80s, and I just carried it forward.
Yeah, and do you own AccuPower Solutions?
Yeah, I have ownership interest. It's changed. There's been some equity investment structures, but yes, I do.
Can you explain a little bit about what that company does? And
basically, it creates software that integrates with force measurement technology for human motion. So it's integrate markerless motion analysis, force plate data, and it just helps clinicians and coaches. Basically, it ends up being very similar to an MRI type results for functional movements.
Very cool, very cool. So, Coach Leno, you coached 17 All-Americans, and it said on the Facebook page for the foundation, I found out some information there that you mentored 4 Olympic athletes.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
That's insane. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Who were they?
I've been Trevor Berry, Derek Atkins, Aaron Clear, Ramon Miller.
Wow. That might be why you are considered a legend here at DSU. That is insane. I never knew that.
Yeah.
All right, on to Crew. We got some questions for you. So, Crew, you graduated from DHS, and so you're a Dickinson native, and then you graduated here last year. Yeah, it is on the script. Crew is a newlywed to my boss, Kiera. So they're leaving for the honeymoon. She's leaving work. She's going, and I got to figure out how to do my job without her, and I don't know how that's going to go. Here you go, Cheyenne. I'm done talking.
All right, and you were a defensive end, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for that answer. Can you talk about a little bit about your time here at DSU and kind of how it shaped you as a person?
Yeah, so I remember when I first got recruited here, I didn't know where I was going to go, and I remember going to the AC over there for my visit day and my first ever game here, and I remember I went with my dad and my mom, and instantly when I walked in there, I got like to the locker room, and I just instantly knew there was like a family, if that makes sense, like a tradition of just being a family and bonded. And I mean, I was right through my 5 years of playing that I really learned that, and I know every team was different, but every team was a family. So it was a great time to be a Blue Hawk.
Yeah, just to brag about Crew a little bit, he was a 2-time outstanding senior athlete, correct?
Yes.
2-time All-American, and he is first in all-time sacks for DSU and first in tackles for loss. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's pretty impressive. That's pretty outstanding career.
I don't understand what any of that means. Yeah.
Well, I had a lot of good surrounding defensive linemen that, I couldn't do that by myself. So the entire defense, it's not my stats, the entire, former defense stats. So.
All right. On to Tigers. So, well, both of you guys were being recognized as DSU Crew. You were the DSU defensive North Star record holder, and Tiger is the offensive North Star record holder for DSU. And Crew, you were the 2021 North Star offensive player of the year. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, I just had a great last year. Obviously, it's kind of just how I would have wanted to write it. So, yeah, I mean, it was just a very successful year, obviously for me and for the team. So, yeah, just overall, it was a great experience.
Awesome. So I'm just going to brag about Tiger here as well. So I have a list of all the records that Tiger holds. Receptions per game, 16. Receptions per season, 72. Receiving yards per game, 194. Receiving yards all time, 3,686. Most touchdowns of all time, 39. That's a list. I barely fit it on the paper, but I don't understand football, so I have no idea. Like, I understand, like, you're catching the football and, like, running with it, but, like, other than that, I got nothing. Can you please just, like, talk a little bit about football so I can understand a little bit more?
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, I played slot receiver, so that's usually, like, the inside receiver, the one that's usually running the shorter routes, catching more balls, not always the deep routes, but possession guy trying to get first downs. And, yeah, I mean, a lot of those records, obviously, I mean, I worked pretty hard to get all those records, but, it comes down to a team. I mean, obviously, if my offensive line couldn't have blocked as well as they did, if I didn't have great quarterbacks like, one of the coaches over here, Hayden Gibson, he was my coach for a long time. We were roommates for a long time. He's one of my lifelong best friends. So, I mean, if I don't have those guys, I don't have any of the records. So, just like Crew said, I mean, I have a lot of records, and that's awesome. But, yeah, they weren't just my records. Obviously, I had some great teammates to play with. So.
Yeah, and you're a 2-time All-American as well, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. And you're head coach at Heart River now?
Yeah, so I've been coaching there for 3 years. This is my first year last year being the head coach of Heart River. So, yeah, and then I teach in Belfield.
Awesome. Let's see. Can you guys tell us a little bit about being coached by Coach Leno? I'm sure that was an honor and stuff. Let's hear a few memories from your time being coached by Coach Leno.
Okay. Remember that $10,000 thing?
Yeah, there's a ton of memories. He was our offensive line coach, obviously, when I was there. So, yeah, if it wasn't for him coaching up those guys, like I said, I don't get the ball thrown to me. So, yeah, I mean, it was way before I got there that he started making his mark at DSU. So, obviously, I've missed out on a lot. I'd say my best memory probably is I finally got to get headbutted by him once pregame. He always headbutts all the offensive linemen. I remember one game he gave me a headbutt. I was glad it was my last one, but it was definitely a memorable experience.
I think one of my favorite memories is I remember being a scared little freshman my first day of practice, and all I hear, the D line's on one side of the field, and the O line's on the complete opposite side. And every single day you could hear Coach is yelling. I could hear it clearly what he was saying from 100 yards away. So that always cracked me up. And he was one of my professors too, probably one of my favorite professors. I loved his work with the force plates. So yeah, he's a good coach, and glad that we had him here.
Okay.
Do you have any memories, any favorite memories, Coach Leno?
Oh boy. There's over 30 years. There's a lot of them. I mean, one thing I wish these guys that are playing now and these guys here would have had a chance to be a part of the rivalry we had with University of Mary and Minot back in the days. Those are fun. A lot of those. I mean, best memories are just the people that got to be involved with, from the time we got here till now.
Tiger's freezing, so we got about 4 minutes. We're gonna wrap it up with some picks and score predictions, and then of course our question that we ask every week. But let's start with picks. So since this is an NSAA last ride, I didn't pick any games from the Frontier Conference. I just wanted to honor the NSAA a little bit. So the games this week there's a lot of them. Valley City versus Jamestown. Valley City's 3-6, Jamestown's 2-7. Who do you guys got winning that one?
I'll take Jamestown.
Jamestown?
Yeah, I'll go Jamestown because my uncle went there.
I'm taking Valley.
Valley? Cheyenne, what about you?
I'm gonna go Valley just because I don't like the Jimmies.
Yeah, I don't know what a Jimmy is, so I'm going with Valley too. So that's about it. Mayville has a bye this week, which is a little bit sad for the last week of the NSAA. But I have no idea if they're going to playoffs, so maybe their season's done. I have no idea. I don't understand football at all. Anyway, score prediction for this week's game. We got DSU versus DSU. Of course, there is a lesser DSU. That would be a DAC State. We don't like those guys. So DSU, the good guys, 8-1. DSU, the bad guys, the lessers, they're 6-3. So let's hear a score prediction from each of you. Crew? Cheyenne wants to start. Never mind.
I'm going 37-0.
37.
37. I don't know if that's even possible in football. Is that possible? Is 37? Okay, 37-0.
I'll go with 48-10.
It's a cold day, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of running. We might not be able to get 1,000,000 points, but I'm still going to go 42-6 Hawks.
It feels like the price is right here because I was going to say 48. I was going to say 48-7. So I'm going to say I'm going to go 49-7 Hawks.
All right, and I'm going to go with 38 to the good guys and 3 to the bad guys. I'm expecting a field goal kick, maybe. I don't understand anything, so that's about it. That's all I got. Now here we go, Cheyenne.
All right, we ask everyone on Hawk Talk this question, so we'll start with you, Crew. What does DSU mean to you?
It means family to me. Like I was saying earlier that, my first year I met so many good people, some of my best friends for life that they moved away 2 or 3 years ago last year, and I'm still in contact with a lot of them, so DSU means family to me.
Yeah, I think that's, probably most people's answer is family. I think it's pretty obvious here. It's family traditions. Everybody's really close. It's a tight bond between everybody. I'd also probably throw in opportunities. I feel like since I came here, my first year here, I wasn't necessarily, sold. Came from like a city that was a little bigger than this. So that first year was kind of tough for me. And I mean, just how everybody brought me in and how much opportunities I've had just going to school here. I mean, everything I do this day, I mean, I get to still see 1,000,000 Hawks everywhere I go. So just a special bond between everybody that's a Hawk.
Coach Leno?
The people. Students, players, coaches, community that supported the university through all the years. It's just damn good people.
Yeah, for sure. All right, thank you guys so much. I thank you guys for all you guys have put into DSU. We appreciate it. And Hawk fans, we'll see you inside the game and hopefully next week. Hawks are up.
Hawks are up and find a blanket.
player and was named the NSAA MVP. In December, he was named NAI First Team All-American on the defensive line, his second year in a row of being an NAI First Team All-American. Please welcome Crew Mather. Pete Leno has been a cornerstone of Blue Hawk football and athletic training for over 30 years. From 1991 to 2024, he served DSU as an offensive line coach and a kinesiology professor. Leno, a visionary in athletic training, was the driving force behind AccuPower Solutions, software that assesses athletic performance metrics such as jumps and balance. Throughout his career, Leno coached 17 NAI All-Americans and more than 50 All-Conference players. He has mentored more than 2,000 athletes before reaching the Olympic level. Please welcome Coach Pete Leno. Please give Tiger Crew and Coach Leno a big Blue Hawk round of applause for being today's Dickinson State University Heritage Foundation honorary captains.
Get some good field position for the offense because it's going to be a damp afternoon as we've had mist throughout the late morning and into the early afternoon. Cloudy skies, still a little bit of fog, so it'll be interesting how the two teams handle the football because probably going to be a damp football for most of the day. And like I mentioned, teams last time turned the football over, but Dickinson State was able to overcome those 3 turnovers and pick up the 17-point win last time down in Madison, South Dakota. So it'll be interesting to see what the Blue Hawks do this afternoon handling the football and the Trojans do handling the football. Like I mentioned, the Trojans had 6 turnovers last time and the Blue Hawks took advantage of it as going on out at midfield, and I believe Dakota State won the toss and they deferred, so Dickinson State will start the ball game with the football, and that offense for Dickinson State has been quite potent because they have been able to overcome some turnovers at time, averaging 35 points per ball game, but Dakota State defensively a good defensive team as the Trojans giving up just 13 points per ball game. So one thing's going to have to give. Either the Blue Hawks offense is going to give and not get up to that 35-point margin, or Dakota State's going to give and not give up more than that 13-point average that they've given up so far this season.
Hey, we're ready to go to work here. We got, boy, I tell you what, we got a guy from Flasher, a guy from Richardson, and a guy from Mott in the press box. We got some guy from a big city like that. Roger Turnus is going to be my guest at halftime. Roger, stick around. Like I said, we'll have a little. Mike Renner, he was just a stalwart at Richardson. It was just Richardson, right, when you played, Mike? Not Richardson. It was Richardson Taylor. Okay. Well, we're blessed in the booth to have those two guys. Got ready to go to work here at the BAC. Dickinson State going up against Dakota State University, the DSUs. I got to stay away from DSU this, DSU that, because everybody will be confused. They won't know which DSU it is. Great to have Stephanie and Trace, and again, we're with you live across all of Southwest and Western North Dakota on Consolidated Channel 18, Consolidated Live. We'll have the telecast and the broadcast for you today here in Dickinson. Regular season finale for both these teams. Of course, Dickinson State guaranteed to be in the playoffs next week. We'll just have to wait till tomorrow afternoon to see who, when, and where. Here's the kickoff by Dakota State. A pooch kind of kick. It's going to carry down and bounce around and field it back there at about the 10-yard line. Bring it across the 25, across the 30, out to about the 32. Nice return that time of about 20 plus yards, about 30 plus yards almost as they bring it out there. And Dickinson State will go to work. Carson Hunter, I think, was the guy maybe that did the returning for Dickinson State.
Yeah, he's filling in for Darian Brown on that kick return team, and a good return from inside the 10 across to the 30-yard line, so a nice return by Carson Hunter.
All right, Dickinson State will go to work. Carson's got his helmet back. Hawks will go twin set there on the far hash mark, the Dakota State side. The wide side of the playing field for Dickinson State is towards the DSU bench. We're underway. Reed Flanagan and the Bismarck Mandan crew are officials today out of the North Star, and they're going to put a man in motion. That's Stinton. They're going to go straight ahead. Zurof's going to get the call, and he's going to fight forward for maybe a yard or two. They're going to give him forward progress to the 34. We'll keep an eye on Brady again, nursing that kneecap injury, so we'll see. Last week he played the first quarter. Hawks got a lead, and they didn't play him after that, but he's getting the start again today. So that'll be a pickup of 2. It'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Of course, Carson Simonson fielding great last week. He was the North Star Conference Player of the Week, 2 rushing touchdowns and a receiving touchdown and over 160 yards in offense.
Ready to go back to work. They put Stinson again in motion. They drop back. Madler, he's going to be hit, and he's going to be dropped all the way back at the 30-yard line. They give him back to the 28, so that is a sack and a loss for Dickinson State. Let's see where they put it, at the 28, the 34. That's a -6 on the sack. Bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and 14 now for Dickinson State at their own 28.
And a good push right up the middle by the Trojans defense. And, Madler didn't even have time to turn around and look upfield as the pressure was right there.
Yeah, nice crowd filling in here in the stands today. Upstairs and downstairs, the booth, mezzanine full, but a lot of people braving the weather and filling in the stands here. So we got a nice crowd on this senior day and booster day. Madler back to pass, all kinds of pressure again, steps away from it, looking downfield. He's got a man wide open. That receiver takes it at the 40, he's across the 50 to the 49-yard line, and guess what? The standout freshman, Matt Gilbert's son, Gage Gilbert, comes up with a big catch. Good read by Madler to keep the play alive, and it goes all the way to the 49 of Dakota State.
Good job by Gilbert that time as he saw Madler on the rush and came out and came back towards the line of scrimmage and got wide open, and Madler just put it right on the numbers, and Gage able to turn upfield and get across midfield. So a big pass play for the tight end, Gage Gilbert in Dickinson State.
1st and 10. That was a 23-yard pass play from Madler to Gilbert. Gilbert again settles in that slot position, kind of power fullback. They go to Zuroff. He gets across midfield, gets to the line of scrimmage, the 49, and 1 yard in front of that to the 48. So just a short pickup for Braden Zuroff, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 9 for Dickinson State.
On that 1st down play, the Blue Hawks went with the double tight ends, Gage Gilbert and Caden Houle. They had Gilbert in the backfield, but Dakota State able to sneak that one out, and now they bring the receivers in and go to the 4 wideout alignment.
Again, Stinson will go wide to the far side. They're going to run it right back to Zuroff. He's got a little seam. He's got a hole. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's at the 25. He's all the way inside the 25 down to the 24-yard line. A pickup of 24 for Zuroff, and great motion by Zuroff to get free and burst into the open.
And if it weren't for the defensive back, Davian Moses, it's a touchdown for Zuroff. I think if Zuroff's fully healthy, he maybe breaks away, but that time Moses was able to come up and tackle him inside the 25-yard line, but a great run for the senior.
Well, the Hawks moving into that northwest wind about 15 to 25 to the north end here. They fake the Zuroff. They're looking deep. They got a receiver down there. Can he come up with it? Did he? Nope. A diving attempt that time. Good effort. That time by Dickinson State trying to come up with it was Clark, but just couldn't pull it into the body. And a bit underthrown by Madler, it would have been a great catch.
And I think maybe it's a situation where the football's a little bit slippery because it was a bad snap, and Madler had to jump to get it. And then, like you mentioned, the pass a little bit short to Clark, but they'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Dickinson State inside the 25-yard line.
7th play of the drive for the Blue Hawks at the Dakota State 23-yard line. It began back at their own 32. Madler ready to go to work. Will gets the snap, a high snap. He gets it back to Zuroff. He's got a hole inside the 20, dives down to about the 19. That'll be a pickup of 5 for Zuroff on the play. Bring up 3rd down and 5 for Dickinson State.
And I think this is going to be 4-down territory for Dickinson State because of the weather and going into this wind. And of course, Dickinson State has done extremely well on 4th down as they've hit 11 of 18 first downs on a 4th down conversion. So this may be a situation where they go for it on 4th, but we'll see what they get on 3rd down and 5.
Well, Will Madler's got that cuff in front of him. He's got his hands inside that cuff. Zuroff behind him. They'll go to the side now. This will be a shotgun formation. 3rd and 5 at the 19-yard line of Dakota State. Long count. Dropping back, looking, firing. Now he steps out of the pressure. He's looking downfield. He's going to run with it. Is he going to get first down? Nope, he's going to get back to the 24-yard line. Then he's going to be pushed back. So good coverage downfield by Dak State. And they're going to give him forward progress to the 20, well, they put it down about the 21-yard line. So that'll be a loss of about 2 on the play, I do believe. So let's call it a loss of 2. Bring up 4th down and 7 at the Dak State 21-yard line. The Hawks, like Jim alluded to, won't attempt a field goal here. They'll go for the first down. So 4th down and 7, or make it 4th down and 8 at the 21. Madler again has Zuroff to his left, moves him to his right. Trips to the far side, the Dak State side. They're in the left hash mark, moving to the north end. Here comes the pressure. They look across the middle. It's a little bit too high. He had the receiver, Stinson, wide open in front of the defensive back, but the pass just sailed on Madler and goes incomplete. So the Trojans get a stop as the Hawks put together a nice 9-play drive, but can't come up with any points. Didn't go for the field goals into the wind, just decided to go on 4th down and couldn't convert.
But Dickinson State did a nice job of moving the football and get it into Dakota State territory, unable to come up with points, but flip the field around, and Dak State will have it at their own 21-yard line.
Dickinson State sets defensively. We'll set them for you momentarily. And the quarterback, A.J. Donovan. Ortman, an outstanding running back, over 800 yards rushing this year. He's a tough runner, the senior, 5'11", 195. He gets the call. He's going to be hit immediately. Coming up defensively, initial contact. Willems, the linebacker. And they'll give him a pickup of about a yard on the play for Ortman, and it will bring up a 2nd down and 9 for Dakota State.
That plays right into the strength of the Dickinson State defense, averaging just 71 yards per game, and it kind of leading the way of those 3 guys up front, Wyatt Anderson, Dylan Dahlgren, and Matt Anderson, doing a good job tying up those offensive linemen and allowing those linebackers to pursue and get the tackle.
The defensive line really spreads wide gaps, and here comes that handoff again to Ortman. He's got a hole, he's got some room, and he fights his way out to first down. Well, they're going to put it about a yard short. Good run that time, though. He's, like we said, an outstanding running back, and that might have been number 5 in there. Let's double check it. Let's go for the gain on the play that time of 8 yards on the play.
That was Ortman.
That was Ortman, okay. So a pickup of 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 1 at the 31 of Dakota State.
Good hard run after initial contact by Ortman as he got hit about 2 yards down the field. He got about another 5 after the initial hit.
Yeah, he runs hard. There's the handoff straight ahead. I don't think they got, not where the referee's at. I didn't think they got it, but the referee with the foot and the hand signaling they did. I thought he was back at about the 30, but they say just across the 31, so they'll give him just about a yard. That is just about what they needed, and it's a first down for the Trojan at the 32-yard line of Dickinson, or the Dakota State.
And a good run by Ortman just to get that yard, because he was hit right at the line of scrimmage, but able to push forward and get that yard needed for the first down.
Coming out wide near side for Dakota State into the formation is Tyson Grindy, the freshman wide out. Ford will go wide to the far side, and Lake also will come in motion for Dakota State. Now they set up a little different formation look, shotgun formation for Donovan. Again, they fake, nope, they go with the handoff, and again, keeping his feet and diving out across the 35 to the 38-yard line. A pickup of 5, again, is Ortman. He's been the workhorse for Dakota State, and he will be all day long. He had a nice game against the Blue Hawks in Madison, up around 100 yards, but carried it about 25 to 30 times, and he's on pace to do that today.
And of course, Ortman, not a big fella at 5'11", 195, but he runs strong, and that was the situation. Again, hit just a couple of yards down the line and able to go through the initial arm tackle and get a good first down run, and brings him up to a 2nd down and 4.
Iverson, another good running back, the backup about 500 yards. He checks into the ballgame. He's a little scat back, and he's got room, and he's out across the 45, out to the 47-yard line, and that'll be a pickup on the play of 9 for Iverson. So both teams looking at the ground game in this weather, and Iverson right now with that 9-yard pickup gives Dakota State their second first down, and 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line of Dakota State.
Like you said, a little scat back, 5'6", 165, just a sophomore. He's averaging about 45 yards per ball game in the rushing department for the Trojans.
Set to go to work again, A.J. Donovan. Donovan's got time. Iverson gets the call again. Iverson cuts to the outside, and not much yardage that time on the first down play, maybe 2 yards. Host of Hawks over there. Matt Anderson, the Jamestown product, one of those guys getting up off the bottom of the pile for Dickinson State. So it'll be a 2-yard pickup for Iverson, and it'll bring up a 2nd down situation and about 8.
And Dakota State would like to run the football as much as possible, as A.J. Donovan has already thrown 12 interceptions this season, 5 of those coming against the Blue Hawks.
Going wide, Malik Ford and Austin Lake for Dakota State. The Trojans have yet to put the ball in the air. They took a round empty backfield. Donovan, he empties it out. And there's the snap. He drops back. He looks deep. He's going across the middle, and it's incomplete, trying to get it to Iverson at about the 47-yard line. It's incomplete, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 for Dakota State at their own 48-yard line.
Well, Dickinson State doing a mass substitution, bringing in 4 new guys, and that's one thing they do a lot. they've got a lot of depth in that front and into that linebacking core, so they bring a bunch of fresh bodies in on this 3rd down and long to try and get the football back from Dakota State.
All right, the Trojans again empty the backfield. Donovan will take a look around. He's got twins to the near side and twins to the far side, right and left. Hawks set with some pressure. That's when one of the things they're looking. He bobbles the snap. It's loose. Who's got it? I think Dickinson State's got it. They do. Who comes up with it for the Blue Hawks? Number 40, Dylan Dahlgren. He has been all over. Dahlgren with the fumble recovery for Dickinson State, leads the teams in sacks, tackles for loss, and now a fumble recovery. Bad snap that time, and Donovan could never get to it.
Well, it was to the right side of Donovan, and he just never could get to it. Dahlgren was right there to come up with the recovery. So, like I mentioned in the pregame, it's going to be interesting to see which team can overcome turnovers, and we'll see if the Trojans defense can stand up, as the Blue Hawks will have it at the Trojans' 40-yard line.
Okay, the Hawks go to work. Madler again. Simonson, Jackson into the ball game. He breaks the tackle. He just falls forward. He had a couple of bodies on him, but managed to pick up 3 on the play. So
nope, that's Zuroff.
Oh, that is Zuroff. Okay. All right, Zuroff stays in. Excuse me. So Zuroff will go on the play for 3. Zuroff having a good first quarter. 5 carries now, 35 yards. Hawks have rushed for 33, and it'll bring up 2nd down and about 7 for Dickinson State at the 38-yard line of Dakota State. Again, Madler with 6 minutes remaining gets the snap. There's that little fake of the jet streak. Will keeps it, strikes the tackle. He's inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line, and that'll be a pickup on the play of 10 yards as Madler goes. Do we have a flag down?
Yep, right at the 40.
Right at the 40, so they'll back it up, I guess. Oh, way back here, right in front of the DSU bench. So pickup of 10 by Madler negated illegal shift, so it'll be a 2nd down and 12 for Dickinson State, and they'll move it back to the 42.
Tough break for the Blue Hawks. Madler did a great job with that fake of the jet sweep and then just went straight up the middle and had 1st down yardage. So the Blue Hawks see if they can overcome the penalty on this series.
Well, Clark comes wide left with Dickinson State. They'll go twin set near side. Solo on the Dakota State right side of the formation. Back to pass. They go out to Clark, and he bobbles it, had it in his hands. Well, that was an easy catch. You don't see Samaj drop many. And he says, that's enough. The gloves are coming off. He says, I'm going with my bare hands, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 12.
Well, if he holds on to that, the Blue Hawks get back those 5 yards they lost on the illegal shift. So a tough break for Dickinson State as Samaj Clark threw the gloves to the sideline. He's going to go with the bare hands here.
It's amazing how fast those gloves came off after he couldn't corral it in. Madler again with Zuroff to his left. He'll go to work out of the shotgun formation. Gunlock will go in motion. And he'll come right and then back to the left. Sets again in the formation. Back to pass. Here comes the blitz and nowhere to go. Not coming in that time. Nobody picked up number 55. It was one of those delayed blitzes. Brueggemann, who is their leading tackler, and he sacks Madler all the way back at the 48-yard line of Dickinson State. So that is a loss of 9 on the play, and the Hawks will punt it back to the Trojans.
And Brueggemann had a nice rush right up the middle and didn't allow much time to look downfield for Dickinson State quarterback Will Madler.
Yeah. High snap, nice catch. Nelson will get the punt away. High end over end punt, not bad into the wind. Let's see what kind of bounce it takes. Straight up in the air and then back outside and hit it about the 28. Bounces back to about the 32. And that's where Dakota State will go to work. Dak State and Dickinson State scoreless here on a misty, windy, damp, and foggy day at the Bijou Activity Center. And both teams trying to get untracked here with 4:51 remaining to play in the first quarter. No score on the CHI St. Alexius Health scoreboard.
And that's 2 drives. Dakota State has really held up on the defensive side, getting the turnover on downs on the initial series, and this time coming up with a sack after Dickinson State got the turnover at the 40-yard line of Dakota State, and Dakota State able to cover up that turnover and get the football back out at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, second sack in the first quarter for Dakota State against Madler, and the Hawks haven't given up a lot of sacks this year, but 2 here in the first quarter. Again, ready to go to work. Donovan again hands it off. There's room up the middle on the left side hash mark and fighting out for about a 6-yard pickup, maybe 7. Let's see where they spot it out to the 39. Let's see if Ortman's back in there. He is. So Ortman will pick up about 7 on the play.
And Dakota State just went with a delay that time, and Ortman able to get onto the left side, got a nice gain of about 7 yards, brings up a 2nd down and short.
They're at the 39 now, and let's check that. They're at the 39, and they have to get out to the 43 or 42-yard line. So we'll call it 2nd down and 3 after that 7-yard pickup by Ortman. Again ready. Again Ortman. Again hit at the line. Fights forward, just strong. I mean, he was hit at about the 40-yard line and just fought with his legs to keep him going. A 4-yard pickup for Ortman and another 1st down for Dakota State. Their 3rd. Both teams now with 3 first downs. And the Trojans have now rushed in this ball game for 35 yards. The Blue Hawks for 24, but you throw 2 sacks in the Blue Hawk rushing number also. So 1st and 10 with the ball at the 43 of Dakota State. 3:45 remaining to play. CHI St. Alexius South scoreboard. No score. Again into the ball game quickly now. Number 22 checks in, and that is Foss, the freshman and the wide receiver for Dakota State. There's that little delay again, straight up the middle, and there's a hit right at the line of scrimmage. Good read that time. That's Iverson, and bottom of the pile, Dylan Dahlgren. And Dahlgren all over the place in this 1st quarter, and there'll be no gain on the play, so it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Good push up front by Dahlgren. He got the initial hit and got the tackle. Riley Waters from the linebacking position came in and helped out, so the Blue Hawks, a nice play on 1st down to keep Dakota State right at the line of scrimmage, make it a 2nd down and 10.
Coming wide, Grindy. He'll be the solo receiver. Hartwell will go with him defensively. Again, Dakota State just 1 pass in the 1st quarter. Long count. Here comes some handoffs. Here comes some pressure. Ortman, a big hole. Oh, that's Iverson, a big hole. And he's out near 1st down yardage. So Dakota State mixing and matching those running backs. And Iverson will go for about 8 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd down and short now. 3rd and 2 for Dakota State at the let's call it the 49-yard line of Dickinson State.
And again, they ran that little delay, and Iverson got some room to the left side, and now Dakota State coming out, trips right, single wide to the left.
All right, ready to go to work. There's the snap. There's the give to Ortman, and he's got 1st down yardage, I do believe. Let's see where they mark it.
I think he's going to be about a half yard short where the officials come in. Going to be about maybe a half yard or a full yard short of 1st down yardage.
Said the knee touchdown there, so we'll call a pickup of a yard on the play.
So it'll be interesting to see. It looks like Dakota State's going to punt the football back and try and play that game of possession, and Carson Hunter will go back inside his own 15 to try and field the punt from Dakota State.
Well, the Trojans will punt it away. It'll give the appearance that they will punt it away.
Well, their punter is listed as Tice Ortman.
He does do the punting. Ortman is the punter, the running back. Hunter back deep. There's the punt. Angles it towards the near sideline. They're going to let it. Nope. Hunter's going to let it bounce. Good choice by Carson. I thought he was going to field it. Then I thought he was going to not. And then I thought he was. And it goes into the end zone. So with 1:34 remaining to play on a damp, breezy, and a dreary day here at the back, Senior Day 2024. We got what, a flag down?
Flag down right on the 0 of the 50-yard line.
Oh, okay. I was going to talk with Pete Stam, see what he wants to do. Do you want to punt it over again, or do you want to take it at the 20?
I wonder if this is one of those penalties that you can take at the line of scrimmage or take it at the end of the...
Oh, legal shift. It'll be declined, I'm assuming here. Reed Plugin signaling it out. Well, maybe they... Yeah. Let's watch, because the ball would come out to the 20. Interesting. Well, Dickinson State will have the football regardless. We'll see where they put it.
Yeah, they'll take the penalty and they'll go from the end of the punt.
Yep.
So it'll be from the 20 out to the 25-yard line.
I like that rule. Kind of, don't have to make them punt it over, and you get the 5 yards. You got to switch footballs now. Getting them dried off. So the umpire might be the most important guy with that towel on his hip, keeping those footballs dry today. Like we said, it's not really a rain, it's just a light mist. Like it doesn't even stick to the windows, but it's definitely out in the playing field. So when you've been able to monitor that and watch that, Hawks will go to work. 1st and 10. Again, their own 25. 94 seconds left, 1st quarter, no score. Again, Madler. Again, the handoff. That might be Simonson in there. That is. He breaks the tackle at the 40. He's at the 50. He's inside the 40. Cuts back at the 35. At the 30, all the way down. I tell you what, this young man has come out of nowhere. Unbelievable. What a run by Simonson. No flags down, and that goes from the 25 of Dickinson State to the 22 of Dakota State. And if my math is right, how many yards is that, Jimmy? About 47?
Yep.
47-yard run. Not bad math for a guy from Mott. 47-yard run by Simonson.
And a great job by the left side of the offensive line to give him a little bit of room. And once he got past that line of scrimmage, it was nothing but green turf. And the defensive backs had to hustle back and make the tackle. But a great run by Simonson, who's kind of been that next man up after the injuries to both Braden Zuroff and Darian Brown.
I think that's a 55-yard run, excuse me. They go back on the fake of the handoff. Wide open, Gilbert across the middle, and that young man has grown like Simonson. A freshman and a sophomore leading the way on that drive in 2 plays, as Gilbert was about as wide open as you can get. I think Mike Renner could have caught that pass, and Gilbert did, and nobody was within him, so that'll be a 20-yard touchdown pass. And man, did he get open, JD. Set it up.
And like I said, Simonson is the next man up, and Gilbert's kind of stepped in as well after Galen Brantley got hurt during preseason, and Gilbert and Houle have filled in nicely, and that time Gilbert just ran a little curl pattern and was wide open after a great fake by Madler as he faked the football to the running back, and Gilbert just kind of snuck out and right in the middle of the field at about the 5-yard line, able to catch it, and there was no one near him, and Gilbert able to get into the end zone, and the Blue Hawks get on the board going into the wind with a half-minute left here in the first quarter.
So a 55-yard run by Simonson, and then the run by, or the pass to Gilbert of 20 yards, and the PAT is good by Miller and Dickinson State with 34 seconds remaining. That was a drive of 1 minute, 2 plays, 1 minute drive, and Dickinson State has the lead 7-0 on the CHI St. Alexios South scoreboard. Back in 30 seconds.
Your path might start at daybreak, getting everyone in their place. You may step out of bounds, or even out on your own. There will be big leaps forward and small steps focused on the grind. No matter what it looks like or where it goes, your path is personal, and that's what makes it powerful. Bravera Bank, Insurance and Wealth. Forge your path.
The ball bouncing around. It's going to be fielded by one of the up men at about the 22. He cuts to the 30 and breaks a tackle there to the 36, 37-yard line before he's brought down on the return that time, number 1. And we're going to go with Jovi Wolf, coach Dakota State like Dickinson. Everybody's got double numbers now. Dickinson State puts O&D. Dakota State did not on the program I've got, but I'm assuming that is Wolf returning it, so Dakota State will get the ball back. But again, 2 plays for Dickinson State, and that drive covers 75 yards in 2 plays. And the Blue Hawks score in the Gilbert touchdown pass of 20 yards from Will Mather. So Dak State takes over at their own, well, let's call it 37, make a 38-yard line. They put the ball down at. Anderson, Dahlgren in the front line there. The Hawks run a lot of people. We'll keep an eye on that. Dakota State again has had success running the football. They have rushed for 45 yards just to throw in 1 pass. And now timeout, Dakota State. The Trojans want a timeout. We'll take a full timeout with the Trojans on Consolidated Live and KDIX. It's a 7-0 lead for Dickinson State. Back in 1 minute.
Launch your TV adventure with the MyTV streaming app from Consolidated. For a limited time, you can get up to 3 free Amazon Fire Sticks, 3 months free cloud DVR service, and a 3-month speed bump to 1 gig. Plus, you'll have a chance to win one of 2 Fire TVs to be given away on December 31st. Here's what our customers are saying about the MyTV streaming app.
Try it. What do you have to lose? I mean, really, if I can do it, anybody can do it pretty well.
Make the switch and call Consolidated today.
Hey folks, it's Rob Wilkinson, Danport Motors 58601, and we are excited. The all-new 2024 and 2025 models have hit the ground. Look at this new Tacoma, brand new design, lots of power. We even have interest rates as low as 1.9 on select models. The all-new Honda Pilot has also hit the ground, and it's quieter and more comfortable than the last one. Come on out and see us at Dan Porter Motors, where your trade values are still sky high. And remember, free car washes for life at Dan Porter Motors 58601.
Well, back with you as we come back. Dakota State just took a quick timeout, went to the sidelines, and Coach Anderson was waving his arm, sent him right back out, and in the process, Matt Anderson had a sack of loss of 6 yards and an incompletion, and 2 seconds remain in the first quarter. So it'll be a third down now and about 15 at the Dakota State 33-yard line. They trail Dickinson State 7-0 here in the first quarter.
This hurry-up offense may come back and bite Dakota State in the butt because this will be the last play of the quarter, and if they don't get the first down, they'll switch ends and have to punt into the wing.
There's a little quick pass across the middle. I think it's caught, but a big hit that time. Who made that hit? Get up their number and come towards me, number 4. And a nice play that time defensively by Jack Hartman, a pickup on the play. They needed 15, and they got 3 on the first completion of the ball game, and it's the end of the quarter, and Dickinson State will go into the second quarter receiving the punt. It'll be a punt situation. Dickinson State with the lead. 7-0. We'll take a break here on KTIX and Consolidated Live. Back in 1 minute.
How comforting it is to live among good neighbors and close friends. To have all your favorite things around you, to feel safe and secure in familiar surroundings. At Western Horizons Assisted Living, we aim to provide you this and much more with you in our care. You can learn more about our services by calling 701-567-6172.
The dictionary defines community as a group of people living in the same place or sharing common goals. Community is the largest part of our name, and we make it the largest part of our business. We support our local schools, organizations, youth programs, and local events from Bowman to Bismarck because we all share a common goal to better the quality of life in our communities. Come bank with us at Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your real community bank.
Time for Dakota State into that win. Northwestern about 15-25. Hunter back. Again, the miss continues to fall. There's the punt. Angled towards Hunter. He'll signal for the fair catch at the 32, 33-yard line, and that's where Dickinson State will go to work. The Hawks through the first quarter, 80 yards rushing. Dakota State 39. Dakota State 3 yards passing in the ball game. Dickinson State 43 total yards, 123-42. 5 first downs Dickinson State, 3 first downs Dakota State.
Blue Hawk will bring that offense back out now with an opportunity. That mist is getting a little bit heavier, and if you look real close, there might even be a little bit of white in that mist.
I see a flake. There you go. There is a flake. Okay. I see 2 flakes. That brings the crowd in. Nice crowd here again in front of us, and I'm surprised how many of that people in the stands as there is. Simonson stays in the ball game. He gets the call again. Powers to the left side. Keeps his feet. He's still going. Still going. He's at the 50. He drug tacklers from the 39 of Dickinson State to the 49. That's about 13, 14 yards, and Simonson's going to check out now. He went for a pickup on the play. Wow. From his own 33-yard line for Dickinson State. That's 17. That was a run on the play of 19 yards, and Dickinson State 6 first down.
And as Simonson checks out, back is the senior Braden Zuroff into the backfield.
1st and 10 for Dickinson State at the 48 of Dakota State. Again ready. Zuroff this time with the carry. He's got some hole. And I tell you what, Jim, you know, these guys, Zuroff running hard and Simonson, but got to give that offensive line some credit, too. They're opening up some things for those guys to go.
Early in the season, that offensive line really struggled, and about 3-4 games into the season, you're wondering what was going wrong. Well, they solved that problem about mid-season, and the running game has really gotten going.
2nd and 7. Again, not much doing there on that play.
Well, they faked the...
And Madler just kept it that time.
Okay, they faked it to the running back that time, and Madler just kept it and ran to the right side. As he went down, took a shot. I thought maybe they'd get a personal foul call as he was already down when he took the hit, but no flag, so they'll bring up a 3rd down and short for the Hawks.
3rd down and about, let's call it 3 at the 41 of Dak State.
This may be a situation where the Blue Hawks are in 4-down territory going with the win.
Simonson 2 carries for 74 yards. Now he's went out. I'm looking to see if he's okay down there. Going in motion for Dickinson State. Meineke as the snow has become a bit more prominent. There's Zuroff, gets the outside. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's at the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Did he get into the end zone? Yes, he did. Braden Zuroff, what a great run for Dickinson State to the outside, and he will score from 41 yards out. And all of a sudden, the run game working extremely well on a day like this. That's what you want, the run game working. A 41-yard touchdown run for Zuroff.
Zoroff just did a great job that time of getting to the outside. He came off the right side and no hole there, and he just bounced it out, got to the sideline, and got tripped up inside the 5 and just leans forward, jumps, and got the football across the line, and a great run that time by the senior Braden Zoroff.
4 plays, 67 yards. Pace went down, kick is up, it looks good, and it is good. And Dickinson State holds out to a 14-0 lead with 12:52 left to go. Again, 4 plays, 67 yards for the Hawks, and they lead 14-0 on the CHI St. Alexios South scoreboard. We're back in 30 seconds on KDIX Dickinson. Very nice drive by Dickinson State. A quick one again, 4 plays. And the Blue Hawks go a total on the drive in those 4 plays of 67 yards. The PAT good after Zoroff scoots for a total of 41 yards. And the Hawks have 2 runners up around 80 yards here in the first half, both around 70 yards in the first half. That kick's going to go into the end zone and it'll come out. Simonson has carried the football a total of 2 times in the ball game, a 55-yard run and a 19-yard run. So he's got 2 carries for 74 yards, and Zoroff's got the rest.
Well, and you look at Dickinson State, it's funny, the one drive that they had that they sustained was the one they didn't score on. Their 2 short drives, they were able to come up with a couple of short, quick touchdown drives, 2 plays and 4 plays, and get out to a 14-0 lead here early in the second quarter as that miss starts to pick up a little bit, and there's a few flakes in there as well.
7 carries for Zoroff, 71 yards. Simonson has a total in the ballgame of 2 carries for 74 yards for Dickinson State. A.J. Donovan will put his team to work at his own 25, now looking at a 14-0 deficit. Now we've got flags down, and there's a big hit. No, they're not going to let the play go. It'll be a legal procedure against Dakota State. Dakota State again 6-3. Their finest year in many years, 4-2 in the conference. They're guaranteed of being against Dickinson State. Oh, excuse me. Okay, they were offsides. All right, never mind. Into the ball game now for Dickinson State. Braden Rock is into the ball game at a defensive end for the Hawks. Also into the game for Dickinson State, Max Eaton, and Dahlgren also into the ball game for Dickinson State. They mix and match a little bit in that D line. They play about 7-8 guys in that defensive line, and the good thing, most of them are underclassmen. I think Matt Anderson is the only one, Matt, from Jamestown. There's a handoff on 1st and 5. There's a hole out to the 30, out to the 35, and there's Ortman again pushing his way across the 35, and let's see where they put him down at about the 37-yard line. So that'll be a pickup on the play of about 7 yards for Ortman, who's had a nice first half running the football. And for Dakota State, that will be first down number 4.
A good job by the offensive line. The left guard, Sam Saylor, was able to get out in front as he pulled in front of Ortman and able to help him out. And once he got hit, he put the shoulder in and kind of helped him get across that 35-yard line.
12-10 remaining to play. First half, Dickinson State 14, Dakota State nothing on the CHI St. Alexios South scoreboard. Ortman again to the outside. This time they blitz and come with it. And in there for Dickinson State that time, it looks like number 45, Brooks Talbert, comes up and makes the hit. That'll be a loss. One of the few times Ortman has lost yardage. And that goes from the 37 back to about, where they put it, all the way back to the 31. That'll be a loss of 6 for Ortman on the play.
And that time, Dakota State put their left tackle over, or rather their left tackle over to the right side and had an unbalanced line. So Dickinson State kind of got a hint what was going on, and that's the way the run went. And the Blue Hawks able to get the tackle for a loss.
They put a receiver, Iverson, in the slot, goes solo right and left, back to pass Donovan. He's only thrown twice across the middle. That's going to be hauled in. Nice catch that time about the original line of scrimmage. Iverson hauls it in at the 37-yard line, or are they going to call it the 36? Let's call it the 36. So it'll be a pickup on the play of about 3 on the reception. It'll bring up 3rd and long for Dakota State.
Blue Hawks swap out that front line and a couple of linebackers, get some fresh meat out front to get set for this 3rd down and long for the Trojans.
3rd and 11 at their own 36, 10:55 left to go before halftime. Dickinson State in the lead, 14-0 on the CHI St. Alexius Health scoreboard. Back to pass, Donovan got some pressure, throws it up for grabs, it hangs, it's scooped, and it's caught. Little hanging pass that time. Didn't think it was ever going to come down, but number 2 for Dakota State stayed alive on the play and hauls it in. That is McCant, and a nice catch by McCant, and that will be enough for a 1st down yardage out to the 48 of Dickinson State. And a nice play that time, and that will pick up a total of 19 yards on the reception.
And that was a play where it got up in the air and hung. And if you're the Dakota State fans and the Dakota State players, you're wondering, that's one of those where it just kind of hung up. And sometimes you see the defensive back come up and make the interception.
There's a pass out in the flat, and the receivers got it at the line of scrimmage and falls forward to the 46-yard line. Coming up with the reception that time, Malik Ford, number 6, hauls it in, or is that number 5?
No, that was 6.
That was 6, so Ford will come up with it. Numbers big on the front of the back of the jersey, not quite as big, so that 5 kind of crunches into a 6 sometime, but that was Ford, and that'll be a pickup on the play of 2. 3 of, or make it 4 of 7 now, 62 yards passing for Donovan. And 2nd down and 8 at the about the 46-yard line of Dickinson State. Ortman on the carry, hit right at the line of scrimmage and fights forward for 2 yards. I'm just impressed with his strength. I mean, he just battled through a Dickinson tackler. I think it was Rock that time, number 90, who came up and made the hit, but it'll be a gain. Where did they put it down at? Okay, they put it at the 44. We'll call it pickup of 2 on the play. Going to bring up 3rd down and about 6 at the 44. So 3rd and 6 at the 44 of Dickinson State.
This may be 4th down territory for the Trojans as well, as they go into this wind that's really been blowing quite a bit throughout the ball game.
Connors comes out wide to the near side with Ford. In the formation, they'll stack it almost, and they'll put a man in motion. Dropping back, here comes the pressure. He's scrambling, he's looking. Rock's got some time. He's going to air it out. He's got a man wide open down there, and it's caught. Reaching up, what a catch with one hand. I don't think he was even the guy he was trying to go to, but he ran into the pass, and he'll haul it in. I think it's a big tight end. Let's double check it. He's coming down the far sideline on the instant replay here, and Donovan just kind of aired it out again, and that's who it goes to. So we got flags down or not? Yep, there's a flag way back at the 47-yard line. Personal foul roughing the passer on Dickinson State. So adding insult to injury as the pass will go all the way down to the 5, and that will be a pickup on the play of 51 yards, and then tack on the penalty. 7 first downs now for Dakota State. What a catch, though, that time by Dakota State as they brought it back into the body and hauled it in.
He had 2 receivers there, and I don't think the guy that ended up with it was the intended receiver. It looked like he maybe overthrew the intended receiver, and the other receiver just made an adjustment and able to make the one-handed catch, and it's 1st down and goal at about the 3-yard line.
They spotted down officially at the 2, and there's the handoff, and they're going to go to Ortman, and Ortman's going to be hit and pushed back. Gillick in there and a host of others coming up. Defensively, also in there for the Blue Hawks coming across is Wyatt Anderson. And it'll be a loss maybe on the play. Let's see where they put it back to the 3, so it'll be a loss of a yard on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and goal at the 3-yard line.
Riley Waters was also in on that play as just a horde of blue were able to come up and make the tackle for a loss, and it'll be 2nd and goal from the 3.
Again, Ortman will stay in the backfield with Donovan. They'll go shotgun, twin receivers to the near side on the north end as they move towards the north end. There's Ortman again, and this time they'll keep the football. Was that Donovan that kept it?
Yep.
Okay, great fake. I had Ortman going right side, and Donovan kept it. Where did he get to? He got to the 1, so let's give him a pickup of 2 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and goal at the 1-yard line.
Well, you were faked out, but the Blue Hawk defense wasn't faked out as they were able to keep Donovan out of the end zone and bring up a 3rd down and goal from inside the 1.
All right, 3rd and goal. 7 minutes left to go. First half, Dickinson State 14, Dakota State nothing, but the Trojans trying to change that right now. So we've got a piece of equipment. That quarterback lost his hand warmer, and it gets thrown to the sideline. Ortman and Donovan back there. They're going to swing it out, looking deep in the corner. The pass is going to be hauled in. Touchdown. They beat the defensive back over there, and that's been a problem on those fade routes for Dickinson State trying to cover him. Let's see if that was 6 or 5. I think it's 6, but let's take a look here. Coming up with the catch and turning around. That is number 6. So hauling the touchdown pass in, Malik Ford on a 1-yard touchdown pass on Dakota State. With the PAT coming, puts together a nice drive on an amazing pass of 51 yards. That was hauled in by their tight end. That was a great catch, and that set up the drive. Number 37 in to do the PAT kicking for the Trojans. Placement down, kick looks good, and the kick is good. So Dakota State back to within 7. It's a battle of the DSUs, and the DIX leads the DAK as we have 6:39 remaining to play here in the first half. Dickinson State 14, Dakota State 7. Back with the Trojans kickoff to the Hawks, and we'll do it in 30 seconds.
Big Boy Toys.
Dakota State again, an impressive drive for the Trojans. They go 10 plays and they cover 75 yards, and they score on the CHI St. Alexius Health scoreboard with 6:39 remaining to play here in the first quarter. Dakota State trailing Dickinson State 14-7, and the kickoff up and coming for Dakota State to Dickinson State. Again, some light mist, a little bit of flakes in the air, still mixing in. Dickinson State again ready to receive the kickoff. It's a bounder, and just picking it up and falling down at the 40-yard line for Dickinson State. Chase Selly is the guy that picked it up, the Dickinson High product. He and Madler share number 9. Selly defensively, Madler offensively, and the ball will go back to the Hawks in pretty good field position at their own 40-yard line. Dickinson State again has had great success running the football. 147 yards, 7 carries for 71 for Madler, and a 41-yard touchdown run. And again for Simonson, he had that carry of 2 carries for 75 yards, and he had a long run of 55 yards. Madler's going to, oh, that's Hunter. They go Wildcat with Hunter, and he takes the snap, and he's out across the 40 to the, they spotted at the 41, across the 45 to the 46. So Carson Hunter will pick up 5 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 5 for Dickinson State.
Time they had 2 running backs in the backfield. Hunter, one of them. Madler went in motion and just snapped it to the running back, Carson Hunter, and a good run that time to get out across the 45. Got about 5 yards on the carry.
They used that play a lot against Valley City last week, and Hunter actually scored on it one time in the ball game. Madler now by the shotgun formation. There's a handoff again, straight ahead. Big hole. There's Simonson again, and he's got another double-digit gain. He will go from the 47-yard line of Dickinson State to the 36-yard line. 17-yard run for Simonson, who's closing in on 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, that's going to take a hit on his yards per carry on the afternoon, but a great, strong run again by Simonson. He's done a great job the last couple of weeks filling in at that running back position.
So it'll bring up Simonson now 3 carries, 91 yards. There's a big hole again up the middle. And again on the carry, guess who? Simonson. That'll go from the 36-yard line. That'll go down to the 24. And that is a pickup of 12 more yards for Simonson. Over 100 yards rushing now. Dickinson State's 9th first down. Boy, the Hawks with a plethora of talented backs. Holy cow. And then you add Ty Dossinger, who probably won't play the rest of the year. He used his 2 games up. You add him. There's that little jet sweep trying to get to the outside, breaking a tackle at the 25, inside the 25, and down to about the 23-yard line from the 24. It'll be a pickup of 2. I believe that was Calderon on the carry, number 6. So he'll go for 2 yards on the play. That'll be a 2nd down and 8 at the 22 of Dickinson or Dakota State. 4.5 left to go in the first half. Dickinson State 14, Dakota State 7, and again ready. Madler barking out signals. Simonson back there. They fake to him. He drops back to pass. He's looking. He's got time. Now he's tucking. Now he's running. He's got room at the 15. There comes the flag down. That'll be a hold. Oh, why do those yellow flags have to come out? But they do. That was probably a hold. When you hold up the defensive line that long, somebody's probably got a hold of a jersey or a pant leg or something, and that's going to be the call. I believe that erases about a 15-yard run by Mather. So it'll bring up second down and about 18 for Dickinson State, and they'll move the ball back. Now, it was at the 21-yard line. That's where the hold took place, it looks like, or 22. And they'll move it back to about the 32-yard line, at the Dakota State 32-yard line. And again, Mather just had a great amount of time. Nobody came open, and credit to that secondary, Dakota State secondary. And they've done that several times. They had 2 sacks in the first quarter, so they have kind of kept Dickinson State's passing game at bay, but the running game has been very successful for the Blue Hawks. 4:15 left to go. Simonson motion left to right. Then he comes back towards the DSU bench. They look to him. They swing it across the middle. They got Clark. He's at the 25. He's at the 20. He's down inside the 20 and down near the 18-yard line. I believe that's Samaj. Yes, it is. So Clark will haul that one in, and that'll be a pickup on the play from the 32 to the 18, a 14-yard completion. Bring up a manageable third down. Only the third completion. Mallard's only thrown 6 times, 3 for 6 in the ball game for a total of 60 yards and 1 touchdown. And they'll bring up third down and 3 at the 18. Hawks leading 14-7, 3.5 left to play before halftime. Long count again by Mather. Simonson gets the carry. Simonson's got the call. I think he dove far enough ahead for a first down. He did. He got 4, so Simonson on his 5th carry of the afternoon has Dickinson State's 10th first down, and Simonson has 5 carries now for 108 yards.
Will Madler's looking to the sidelines trying to get the signal. He's kind of signaling, let's get going so we can get to the line of scrimmage, as they've had success on this drive and would like to kind of pick it up a little bit, as the Blue Hawks with 3 minutes left here in the first half in the red zone inside the 15-yard line.
7th play of the drive. They again go to Simonson. He breaks a tackle. He's inside the 10, inside the 5, and he dives down to the 5-yard line. I got the body to the 4, but they'll mark it at the 5, and that'll be a 9-yard pickup for Simonson on the play.
One of the Blue Hawk offensive linemen coming off the field. And hustling in, Trey Swanson, the sophomore out of Beach, to fill in.
Is that Jesse Shapetsky, number 59, or is that number 58?
I think it's 58, William Rollins.
William Rollins, okay, so it'll be 2nd down and 1. That offensive line has been superb in this weather in this first half for Simonson and Zuroff. There's a handoff again. Simonson's hit right at the 5, and this time Dakota State reads it well, and they put the quash on Simonson for the first time today. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. So to bring up 3rd and 1 at about the 5-yard line.
And the outside linebacker, Cole Paulson, sniffed that one out and able to hit him right at the line of scrimmage, bring up the third down and a yard. And it's the 2-minute timeout, so the Blue Hawks will have a chance to talk it over on this 3rd down and 2 inside the 10-yard line.
All right, we'll take a quick break here. 30-second break on the CHI St. Alexius Health scoreboard. It's Dickinson State 14, Dakota State 7. The Hawks threatening 3rd and 1 at the 5 of Dakota State. We're back in a half minute on Consolidated and KDIS.
The Eagles Club in downtown Dickinson is the best place to get together with your friends and enjoy a nice cold beverage any time of the day. They have weekly lunch specials from 11 to 1:30 and beer and wings Thursdays from 5 to 9. The Eagles is also available for your special event. Call now to reserve your date. You'll find everything the Eagles is planning on their Facebook page, and you can check out their monthly calendar to see all the entertainment and events going on. Whether you're looking for something different for lunch or something fun to do with your friends, try the Eagles in downtown Dickinson.
Thank you much. As we come back, Dickinson State again in the lead, 14-7. Boy, their running game has been outstanding. Simonson again, 7 for 117. Zuroff 7 for 71 in the ball game. Zuroff had that touchdown run of 41 yards, so 3rd and 1 at the 5. 2 minutes left to go in the first half. Dickinson State has Meineke out wide to the near side. Again, power formation. Gilbert in the backfield. They put Gunlock in motion, and he'll come to the near side. That's Ostry, in motion, and they go straight ahead. I don't know where they got it marked at, but he powers ahead. I think, well, I'm going to let him untangle. You can't tell where they mark it down. Had to get just inside the 5, and let's see where they put it down at. They put it just inside the 5. As they untangle down there.
But as Dakota State players are saying 4th down.
So it's going to be about a half yard short, so we'll call it really no gain on the play. So Dickinson's going to go for it. 4th and 1 at the 4.5-yard line. Again, Madler gets underneath there. There's the touch push, and there's the first down. So the Blue Hawks will get the first down.
Yeah, he had Gage Gilbert lined up right behind him, and as soon as he took the snap, Gilbert got him right on his hip and was able to push forward, and looks like the Blue Hawks will have a first down inside the 5.
So what do we got going on? There it is, the first down signal. So again, that'll be first down number 11 on that 2-yard rush. The Hawks now rush for 190 yards in the first half. Will be first and goal with the football down. 1:23 they want to put on the clock. So it'll be first and goal at the 3 for Dickinson State. Okay, Dickinson State again, another double-digit play drive here, 11th play of this drive. Put the man in motion in the slot, does Dickinson State. They're going to run that little delay. They go to Zuroff. Zuroff goes straight ahead. Zuroff goes into the end zone. Zuroff has the touchdown. Having a nice senior day today for Braden Zuroff. His 8th carry now for 75 yards and 2 TDs. And the Blue Hawks counter back with the score. This offense has just been so solid all year long, and that another nice drive. 11 plays for Dickinson State, and they go 59 yards in that 11 plays. They score with 1:07 remaining to play in the first half, and Zuroff caps it off with the touchdown run.
And a nice answer by Dickinson State after Dakota State got on the board to get it to a 1-score lead. The Hawks had a nice drive to come back and get the lead up to double digits at 21-14 as the PAT is up and good for Dickinson State.
So Dickinson State up 21-7 over Dakota State on the CHI St. Alexius Health scoreboard after an 11-play, 59-yard drive, capped off by Brayton Zuroff, the talented senior out of New Salem High School, and it goes for a 3-yard touchdown run, and the Blue Hawks lead it 21-7. We're back in 30 seconds with the Hawks kickoff to the Trojans.
At Infinity Real Estate Group, we go to great lengths to find the answers to most any questions our clients may have. We strive to do our best to personalize your buying or selling experience with firsthand knowledge.
We absolutely love the neighborhood, but how are the schools? Well, actually, I know firsthand that they're amazing.
Who knows who the 26th president is of the United States?
Ooh.
Yes.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Correct.
Infinity Real Estate Group.
Back with you, Dickinson State will kick off our little flurry activity. It's kind of stopped, still kind of misty out there. High end over end kick, and they're going to watch it go into the end zone, so Dakota State will get it back. They have 2 timeouts remaining. They'll go to work at their own 25-yard line, will the Trojans, and it will be a first down and 10. Dakota State in this football game, a pretty good challenge offensively. They have passed 6 of 9 for Donovan, who had, like Jim alluded to earlier this year against Dickinson State, had a 5-interception game. He has been sharp today, 6 of 9, 114 yards and 1 touchdown to Ford, and 41 yards rushing and 7 first downs for Dakota State.
And oddly enough, Dakota State's passing game has been mostly against this wind, and we'll see what they do with just over a minute remaining.
Now wind about 15-25, back to pass, all kinds of time out in the flat. Good defensive play by Hartwell. He just bats it away from the intended receiver, Malik Ford, that time, and it goes incomplete. A nice read, 6 of 10 now in the ball game for Donovan, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for Dakota State. 63 seconds remaining. Hawks got Anderson, Matt Anderson back in there. Looks like Dahlgren in there for Dickinson State. And that front 3, they put the man in motion this time. That is Lake. He comes in motion. We haven't heard much from Austin. He's one of their leading receivers. Here comes a little delay up the middle, and it's going to be a pickup to the 30, and there's Ortman again just powering out to about the 31-yard line. I believe it's Ortman. Let's see, is he untangled? Yep, it is Ortman. So Ortman, timeout, Dickinson State will pick up 6. The Blue Hawks will burn a timeout. We'll go along with the Blue Hawks. It'll be 3rd and 4 for Dakota State at their own 31 when we come back in 30 seconds on Consolidated Live and KDIX.
We've got you. It's a pledge to make sure you're always taken care of. A pledge that your Touchstone Energy Cooperative honors each and every day. When it comes to keeping things running smoothly or getting them back on track when they're not, we've got you. Always.
BU Activity Center. Dakota State looking at a 3rd and 4 at their own 31-yard line, down 21-7. They have the football. Again, we just said the mist continues to fall here, but no more snowflakes, and the breeze at about northwest, 15 to 25. The temperature right around at 40-degree mark here in Dickinson.
And now Dickinson State, if they can get the stop, can get the football back with maybe 1 or 2 timeouts and a chance to get back on the board here before halftime if they can hold Dakota State from getting this first down.
Trojans set offensively. They take the handoff. Pressure put on. Getting hit as he throws it. It'll be incomplete. Good pressure. That time by Dickinson State. Number 56, I believe, coming strong for the Blue Hawks. Or is that number 50? That was number 50, and that is Wyatt Anderson with a great rush for that talented young man. Goes incomplete with 55 seconds left, and the Blue Hawks get the ball back with some time remaining, and like Jim said, 2 timeouts. So let's see what Pete Stanton and Russ McCarville decide to do.
Well, that worked out perfectly for Dickinson State as they didn't have to burn the timeout as they had the incomplete pass, and now they'll get the football back with 2 timeouts. Probably in that 45 to 50 seconds left here in the first half.
Again, Ortman will drop back to punt. Good snap, not a big rush, and the Hawks are just going to get away from it and let it bounce, and it'll be down at about the 40-yard line of Dickinson State. So pretty good field position again for the Hawks. Their last drive ended in a score, began at their own 41, and I think this one will be spotted down right at the 40-yard line. Well, that Jim mentioned when he came in, it was cold, and that damp moisture, of course, today. It's that damp cold, and it's about 40 degrees. If sunshine, it's not too bad, but when you got a light mist falling and the wind blowing and that moisture in the air, it just makes it a lot colder than the temperature actually is, and that's kind of the way this day is here at the BU Activity Center. Dickinson State leading by 14, looking for more with 46 seconds remaining to play here in the first half. Madler back to pass, hasn't thrown a large. He's got a receiver across the middle. That's going to be hauled in out to the 50. Should be enough for first down yardage. That is Clark again, his second reception for 24 yards. And that'll be 4 of 7 now for 70 yards passing. And a touchdown for Madler, 12th first down for Dickinson State. Madler back to pass again, scrambles. He's looking, he's tucking, he's running, he slides down. He'll be at the 44-yard line. Timeout, Dickinson State. So the Hawks with 31 seconds have it at the 44. That was a pickup on the play of 6 for Madler. And it'll bring up a timeout. Quick 30-second break. Tristan, we'll put you back to work at the studios in Katy Hawk. Put Stephanie and the consolidated crew to work for 30 seconds back in a half minute.
The Hub in North Dickinson is more than your ordinary convenience store. From Godfather's Pizza and the Hub Cafe to gourmet coffee, tea, and more. Stop by early for breakfast or grab something to go. We carry a variety of donuts that we make fresh every day. If your vehicle is dirty, we now have a state-of-the-art car wash at both locations. Stop in and see what we have to offer at the Hub located on North Highway 22 or the Hub West Dakota Oil on East Villard in Dickinson. We're changing the way people think about the convenience store industry.
For Madler, 7, 4 of 7, 70 yards. Clark has caught a couple for 24 yards, and Gilbert has caught 2 passes for 46 yards. So that's where the passes have gone today. Stimson, Calderon, Gunlock, Hool, Banks, Ostry haven't caught one yet today for the Blue Hawks.
And of course, Gilbert has the touchdown pass from Madler as well.
Yeah, there we go again. Madler goes to work. Hawks do have 1 timeout remaining. Trying to move maybe at least in the field goal range across the middle. Nobody was really looking for it. They had Stinson on the hash mark, and across the middle you had Gunlock. The Gunlock went behind him and then to the side of Stinson, so incomplete, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 for Dickinson State. Well, Madler again has the team up to the line of scrimmage on 3rd down and 4 at the 44 of Dak State. 21-7 lead for Dickinson State. Madler again barking out signals. Long count this time by Will. Play clock under 10 seconds. Drops back, looking. Got some room, got some time. Now he's going to scramble away from the pressure. Looks to his right, throws it deep downfield, going for the receiver down there. Did he haul it in? Yes, he did. What a great catch down there. Is that Clark? Let's see what number that is. Is that number 2? Number 8? Okay, that's Clark down to the 2-yard line, 40-yard pass.
Wow, what a catch as he got And they showed the replay, thanks to Stephanie Consolidated. Looked like he did get a foot down before he went out of bounds. The best part about that, he got out of bounds, preserved that timeout with 17 seconds
Yeah,
left.
you can see clearly on the replay that foot was down. What a great catch. So to bring up a first down and 10 for Dickinson State. There's the fake of the handoff. They roll out. They're looking. Madler's going to tuck it. Madler's going to run under the end zone. And how about that? Boy, you talk about a crushing blow for Dakota State. Man, that is just one of those. You give the ball back with 46 seconds remaining, and Madler takes it in on the 2-yard touchdown run. And all of a sudden, it was 14-7. You look up now, it's 28-7 as the Blue Hawks scoring here a couple of times late in the first half and open up the lead with the PAT attempt coming with 11 seconds remaining to play.
Well, like I said, the last time Dakota State had the football, they had a couple of incomplete passes to stop the clock, and Dickinson State able to preserve some timeouts. And only needed one timeout on that drive as they go 60 yards in about 35 seconds and get it to a 3-score lead. So a great job by that offense. And Will Madler did a great job getting a couple of completions, a couple of nice scrambles. Great catch by Clark on the far sideline, and then a scramble for a touchdown by Madler, and the Blue Hawks extend that lead to 21.
We'll keep it right here. That drive for Dickinson State again, it took a total for the Blue Hawks 5 plays, and they go 60 yards in 35 seconds. And the big play, the Clark catch that time of 44 yards. And then Madler takes it in on the quarterback, almost a quarterback draw, but it's into the end zone. So the Blue Hawks having a big afternoon, 201 yards rushing in this football game already. And in the passing game, they are 5 of 9 for 110 yards. So the Blue Hawks over 300 yards in total offense here in the first half and 28 points on the scoreboard.
They've done it with the running game, and now Madler with the passing game here at this last drive of the game, or the first half of the game, I should say. So Blue Hawks have been able to get both sides of the offense going here this afternoon, and will go into the locker room up by 21, barring a big play by the Trojans.
There's a kickoff. Chase Miller into the end zone. Up, they're going to bring it out across the 10, out to about the 15, and then turning the corner at the 20, and finally run out of bounds is Shaquan O'Connors, with the return of about 22 yards. And Dakota State, I'm assuming, will take the knee here, and we will head into the halftime break with Dickinson State up by a score of 28-7 over Dakota State. So Dickinson State again scoring with 1:07 left, then 3 and out, and then scoring with 35 seconds left. So they scored in 45 seconds 2 touchdowns. That's how good and great this offensive unit has been all year long for Dickinson State. They have just been dynamic on the season. There's the handoff, nothing doing there. Matt Anderson solo tackle that time. Was that Ortman again on the carry? I believe it was, yeah, and that'll go for loss. No, back to the line of scrimmage. Number 3, Iverson on the carry, a loss of about a yard. And that'll bring it in to our first half of play on the CHI St. Alexius Health scoreboard. Dickinson State 28, Dakota State 7. We'll be back to the back with our halftime report. Don't forget, we've got North Star Athletic Conference Commissioner Roger Turnus up to visit with us at halftime, but we'll do our halftime report and then we'll bring Roger in. But again, the Blue Hawks up on the CHI St. Alexius Health scoreboard 28-7. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Independent, straightforward, caring. It's what we are because we are you. Member-owned, member-focused. Western Cooperative Credit Union. Head west for a financial relationship that works for you. Dependable, trustworthy, fair. It's what we are because we are you. Member-owned, member-focused. Western Cooperative Credit Union. Head west for home and auto loans that work for you.
West Dakota Oil and Fitterer Oil Company proudly offers products and services that help fuel our customers' lives with clean-burning propane and bulk fuel and convenient on-site delivery with premium farm and road fuels. We provide energy where and when you need it most with locations throughout Southwest North Dakota. West Dakota Oil and Fitterer Oil Company. Locally owned, locally strong. The products you need with the service you deserve.
Your path might start at daybreak, getting everyone in their place. You may step out of bounds, or even out on your own. There will be big leaps forward and small steps focused on the grind. No matter what it looks like or where it goes, your path is personal, and that's what makes it powerful. Bravera Bank, Insurance and Wealth. Forge your path.
Launch your TV adventure with the MyTV streaming app from Consolidated. For a limited time, you can get up to 3 free Amazon Fire Sticks, 3 months free cloud DVR service, and a 3-month speed bump to 1 gig. Plus, you'll have a chance to win one of 2 Fire TVs to be given away on December 31st. Here's what our customers are saying about the MyTV streaming app.
Try it. What do you have to lose? I mean, really, if I can do it, anybody can do it pretty well.
Make the switch and call Consolidated today.
Hey folks, it's Rob Wilkinson, Danport Motors 58601, and we are excited. The all-new 2024 and 2025 models have hit the ground. Look at this new Tacoma, brand new design, lots of power. We even have interest rates as low as 1.9 on select models. The all-new Honda Pilot has also hit the ground, and it's quieter and more comfortable than the last one. Come on out and see us at Dan Porter Motors, where your trade values are still sky high. And remember, free car washes for life at Dan Porter Motors 58601.
The dictionary defines community as a group of people living in the same place or sharing common goals. Community is the largest part of our name, and we make it the largest part of our business. We support our local schools, organizations, youth programs, and local events from Bowman to Bismarck, because we all share a common goal to better the quality of life in our communities. Come bank with us at Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your real community bank.
Over with Consolidated Live. Appreciate the work of those 2 young people as we are back at halftime. Dickinson State leading it 28-7 at the halftime break. A couple of quick touchdowns in the closing minutes of the first half, stretching that 14-7 lead up to 28-7. Let's take a look at the scoring summary. First of all, Dickinson State got on the board late in the first quarter as Will Madler hit the tight end Gage Gilbert from 20 yards out to make it 6-0. Chase Miller added the PAT, and the Hawks, with 34 seconds remaining in the first quarter, led it 7-0. Then the next possession for the Hawks, Braden Zuroff, a great run down the right side and dove into the end zone from 41 yards out, and the PAT by Chase Miller made it 14-0 in favor of Dickinson State. Then a nice drive by Dakota State as they got on the board going into the wind as A.J. Donovan hit Malik Ford for a 1-yard touchdown run, or 1-yard touchdown pass after a great catch inside the 5, set them up at the 3-yard line, and on third down, they hit, Donovan did hit Ford on the 1-yard fade pattern. The PAT by Susita made it 14-7. Then Dickinson State came back, had a nice drive, and got in the end zone once more. Got Braden Zuroff in from 3 yards out. Minute 7 left in the first half as Miller added the PAT 21-0. Then Dakota State came out, got a 3-and-out, threw a couple of incomplete passes, and Dickinson State only had to take 1 timeout in the 3-and-out, set Dickinson State up in good situation as they got the football back with with 46 seconds remaining, and Will Madler got a 3-yard run on the scramble with just 11 seconds left. Chase Miller added the PAT, 28-7 our score. So in just over a minute, Dickinson State put up 14 points on the 3-yard run by Zuroff and the 3-yard run by Madler. We're at halftime. The score, Dickinson State 28 and Dakota State 7. We'll take another 3-minute timeout, and then Rod will give you the team and individual numbers, a little bit of color as well, and then hear from NSAA Commissioner Roger Turnitz. That all up and coming in our halftime show in 3 minutes.
toys. DTE.
The Eagles Club in downtown Dickinson is the best place to get together with your friends and enjoy a nice cold beverage any time of the day. They have weekly lunch specials from 11 to 1:30 and beer and wings Thursdays from 5 to 9. The Eagles is also available for your special event. Call now to reserve your date. You'll find everything the Eagles is planning on their Facebook page, and you can check out their monthly calendar to see all the entertainment and events going on. Whether you're looking for something different for lunch or something fun to do with your friends, try the Eagles in downtown Dickinson.
At Infinity Real Estate Group, we go to great lengths to find the answers to most any questions our clients may have. We strive to do our best to personalize your buying or selling experience with firsthand knowledge.
I love this area. How close to Medora are we?
Oh, just a hop, skip, and a bike ride away.
When it's time to choose the team to represent you with all your real estate needs, choose Infinity Real Estate Group. Experience the Infinity way.
Infinity Real Estate Group.
As your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we wear many hats. We take pride in serving our members and our community by going the extra mile in everything we do. Because we not only work here, we live here.
The Hub in North Dickinson is more than your ordinary convenience store. From Godfather's Pizza and the Hub Cafe to gourmet coffee, tea, and more. Stop by early for breakfast or grab something to go. We carry a variety of donuts that we make fresh every day. If your vehicle is dirty, we now have a state-of-the-art car wash at both locations. Stop in and see what we have to offer at the Hub located on North Highway 22 or the Hub West Dakota Oil on East Villard in Dickinson. We're changing the way people think about the convenience store industry.
All right. Yeah, that's okay. There's some stuff in the drawer there for you if you want. Okay, back with you. Let's take a look. Thank you, Jim, for filling in on the scoring summary there. For Dickinson State University, let's look at the team numbers first of all. The Blue Hawks on the first half running the football. 25 carries, 203 yards. Dakota State 20 carries, 44 yards. Passing, Will Madler, 5 of 9 in the passing department. A touchdown, that of course to Matt Gilbert, or not to Matt Gilbert, to Gage Gilbert. I talked with Matt at halftime when I was in the hallway. Gage comes up with the catch, and that's a 1 touchdown pass, and no interceptions, 108 yards. Dakota State, Donovan, 6 of 10 in the passing department in the football game for 65 yards. Total plays, 34. Dickinson State, 311 yards. And Dakota State 30 plays, 109 yards. First downs, Dickinson State 14, Dakota State 7, again 28-7. Our score, turnover-wise, Dakota State has 1 turnover. They lost a fumble. There's been no interceptions in the football game. Look at individual numbers. Again, we told you about Will Madler and his numbers. Let's look at rushing. And Zuroff and Simonson putting on a show today. Jackson Simonson, 7 carries, 116 yards of rushing in the first half. Zuroff, 9 for 82 and 2 touchdowns. Longest run for Zuroff, the 41-yard touchdown run. And Simonson, the 55-yard run. Ortman, 12 for 41. Is leading Dakota State. Receiving, we were right. Eddie Merrill, the big tight end, made that one-handed catch that set up Dakota State's touchdown. Wasn't quite sure as it was bundled up around a bunch of people trying to catch it, and Merrill came down with it. He has 1 catch for 40. Malik Ford has 3 catches for 6 yards. Gage Gilbert and Samaj Clark, the only guys to catch passes for Dickinson State. Clark, 3 for 65, and Gilbert 2 for 43 and a touchdown in the football game. So there you go, the individual and team numbers. Jimmy's got some defensive numbers for you to take a look at.
For Dakota State, they were led by Colin Brueggemann, 8 total tackles. He also has a sack in the ball game. And the other sacks, Caleb Dwyer with a sack and Chris Geepy, but Paula has a sack for Dakota State. For Dickinson State, they were led in the first half by Jackson Willems. He has 6 total tackles, including a half a sack. Dylan Dahlgren has a sack in the first half, and Matt Anderson had 4 tackles, including a half a sack. But great performance by Dickinson State, especially in that closing minute when they scored 2 touchdowns, one with 1:07 remaining in the half and the other with 11 seconds remaining. And the defense has really stepped up with the exception of that one long pass that set up the Dakota State touchdown. The only kind of blip on the defensive side for Dickinson State, but a great first half for the Hawks as they're up 21 at halftime. And I'll send it back to you, and I'll hand my headset over to Roger Turnus as you can talk to the commissioner here at halftime.
Well, we get to visit not very often with Roger, but we used to get to visit with him a lot when we was the athletic director at Dickinson State. And we used to spend a lot of time in the car going places, and we visited really a lot. But Roger, it's still nice to see you back here. Of course, Dickinson State captured the conference title, and we're here to present the flag or whatever, the presentation after the game today. But let's talk a little bit about the North Star. It, doesn't seem possible, does it? Man, you've been doing this for a long time, and all of a sudden it's the last year of the North Star. So I'm sure maybe there's some relief. Hey, I don't have to drive all over the country, but I know you enjoy doing it, so I'm sure you're going to miss. So talk about that first of all. We'll talk about where the conference is, what it's doing this year, and it's doing pretty well.
Sure. Well, as of today, we're wrapping up the fall sports season with this game here in Dickinson and Dakota State. Volleyball is playing in Bellevue, Nebraska. Dakota State upset number 3 in the nation, Jamestown, last night. So we got Bellevue, Dakota State in volleyball this afternoon at 2 o'clock. And then we've got this game here. And yeah, I'm here to present the Blue Hawks with their 10th consecutive championship award. And it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed my 5 years here as the commissioner of the North Star.
Talk a little bit about that 5 years, because you have done a great job, and conference has gone a long ways. It just started losing some membership, and that's something that nobody controls, because if institutions want to make a decision, you can beg and plead, you can cry and whine, but if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. And it's just kind of gotten down to just not enough teams to go anymore. And it's kind of sad and too bad, but I guess you got to move on.
Well, and it really came down to football, if you will, with Presentation and Iowa Wesleyan closing their doors. They were 2 schools that played football in our league. If they would still be around, we'd still have a conference. And even if we had 2 other schools in our league now, with Bismarck State coming into the NAI, and then they would have been in the North Star, we would have had 6 institutions. We could have continued. But without 6 schools playing football, it was impossible really for them to put a schedule together. Those 4 schools remaining and a Frontier with their 5 in Montana, it just made sense, if you will, to work together and put together a merged conference.
What role did you play in that? How much did you go and sit down? I don't know if you met in Weebo or if you met in Miles City, but I know you played a role in that. What was it like kind of merging the 2 conferences together?
Well, probably 18 months ago, we met as a group in Denver. It was the easiest for presidents to fly into Denver than anywhere else, so that's where we met. We met in Kansas City twice, talking about some of the options, and it really went relatively smooth once you got past the shock of, okay, there's a little distance between Helena, Montana, and Omaha, Nebraska, and Mayville and Dillon, Montana, but it was like, okay, what are our next best options? And my role in this was to help our institutions facilitate that move as best I could. We talked to other conferences, the GPAC conference. We talked to the Northern Sun and Division II options, what might be out there. We talked to the Division III conference over in Minnesota. And after we looked at everything that was available to our members, the best option was for them to merge with the Frontier. So that's where we're at.
So, next question is, what are you going to miss about it, first of all?
Oh, I miss the student athletes. I really do. Unfortunately, I started this in November of 20, right in the middle of the pandemic. So what a way to get started is the middle of a coronavirus pandemic, and but you really got to know the presidents and the athletic directors that we met literally every week during the pandemic of, okay, do you have enough to play a volleyball match, or do you have enough to play basketball? And we were able to put that together and keep playing throughout the year. And so it worked out really well. And but getting to know the student athletes, going to events, going to track meets, the indoor and outdoor softball and baseball championships. Last week on Friday, I went to Valley City for the volleyball playoffs. Dickinson State play down there. Today I'm here. I miss that part. That'll be the part I'll miss.
You know, I admire you because I don't know how, you do it. You're the commissioner, so you just said three things. You had presidents, athletic directors, and coaches. You got to kind of deal with all of them, and I'm sure maybe that's a headache. Maybe you won't miss so much. And I know they're great to work with, but there's always that little give and take and pull. And these guys want to protect their institutions, and you got 6 guys wanting to protect, and you're one guy trying to merge them all together.
Well, it is, but at the same time, they were basically all in the same basket, if you will. It might have been a little bit different issue on a campus or so, but it worked out really well. The presidents were very supportive of what we were trying to do, and that they understood that at small schools, these athletes are here because they want an opportunity to play, and to cancel seasons and things like that wasn't going to work. So they worked very hard at that with their local health departments, and the presidents have been great. The ADs, we continue to meet once a month with the ADs for the last 5 years. So it's really been a good experience for me.
Now this next question I'm going to ask isn't fair because we got 2 minutes and 30 seconds before second half starts, but you've done this, you went to school here, you graduated, you were active in athletics here, you coached some here, you went on and coached and were activity and athletic director, you were in Wisconsin, you were here, you were all over, you've been around athletes. How much are you going to miss that, and what are you going to do? And you can take as long as you want, but you got 2 minutes and 10 seconds to answer.
Well, I don't know yet. I'm visiting with Scott Crawford, the commissioner of the Frontier Conference.
Oh, okay.
And, the strength of the Frontier is really in football, basketball, and volleyball. But none of the schools in Montana play baseball. Right. Only 2 of them play softball. Track and field and cross country, indoor and outdoor, are stronger in the North Star than there. So I think I can help the Frontier Conference transition with those sports as we move into 25 and 26. So we'll see what happens after the first of the year.
And it's interesting you said that because for the Frontier to succeed, all those sports are going to basically have to become part of it because recruiting-wise, student number-wise, those are big recruiting number sports like you mentioned, baseball, softball, track and field. That's, other than football, maybe where you get your most athletes from.
Well, it really is. Like Mayville State, they're concerned. They were concerned about football, but between baseball and softball, they have about 80 student athletes, which is almost the size of a football team, and yet the Frontier doesn't sponsor those sports as championships. So every school had some specific interests, and we're really excited about what's going to happen in the future.
Well, good. I hope you stay involved because I love to talk to you and love to have you stop by when you come up in the booth. Thanks for taking time, Roger. Congratulations. I'll shake your hand, even though most people can't see it, for the job you've done as athletic commissioner. I call it director of athletics for the North Star, but it's the commissioner. But great job.
Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it.
All right. We'll slide Jimmy Dahl back in there and appreciate Roger stopping by and visiting with us. In the good old days, I remember many of them with Coach Turnitz when he was the AD at Dickinson State and now the commissioner of the North Star. So we're about ready to get going here again. And every once in a while, you get a little fluff and puff of some nice snow showers, a little mist, and we get ready to go here in the second half. Dickinson State again leading 28-7 at halftime. The Hawks again a big first half offensively. Of course, they average just about 400 yards a game, 396.7 coming into this, and they average 35 points a game. So they have just done a great job. And defensively today, Dakota State at times has done some things well. And Dickinson State again will kick it off to Dakota State. So again, Dickinson State ready to go to work defensively, and offensively it'll be Dakota State on the field first. We're underway at halftime. It's in the books. There's a little low-line punching kind of drive, and it's just going to go down on the ground and getting on top of it and making sure nobody else does is Gus Stanford, a backup running back, and Dakota State will go to work first and 10. Be interesting, Jim, to see what the Trojans try to do here offensively. You can't get 21 points back all at once, but 28-7 is manageable, but you got to do some things maybe on this first drive.
Yeah, this is a critical drive for the Blue Hawk defense and the Dakota State offense, because if the Blue Hawks can come up with a stop here and get that potent offense back out on the field, it could cause problems for Dakota State, as Dickinson State could really extend this lead if Dakota State's offense can't get going. And of course, their only score in the ball game came after a long pass downfield that set him up at first down and goal inside the 5.
Well, Donovan will give the handoff to Ortman. He's dropped in the backfield. What a read, I believe. Coming up defensively that time is Shell Osborne, who's had an outstanding season. He's another one of those sophomore linebackers they got also young in that D-line and linebacking core is Dickinson State. And Osborne making a big play. That'll be a wash of 4 on the play for Ortman.
And Ortman that time went in motion across the field, and usually you look at that as a jet sweep from the wide receiver, but the running back that time with a little jet sweep, but Osborne sniffed it out and got the big tackle for a loss.
Back to pass, Donovan, he's up there as an ENG lending sack, and that's another ENG lending sack. It's as easy as 456, your area's #1 choice for home loans. Phone 456-LOAN or on the web at 456loan.com. ENG, your area's #1 choice for home loans.
Chris Kistler on the run to the left side as he was coming from that cornerback position, and he got the initial hit. Wyatt Anderson came over and helped, and now it's a 3rd down and long for Dakota State, and the exact opposite thing you wanted to see if you're a Dakota State fan, as they've gone nothing but back with the tackle for a loss and now a quarterback sack.
3rd and 23 at their own 16. Donovan again back to pass. Here comes the throw out on the flat. Is it going to be underthrown? It is, trying to get it out there, trying to get it to his wide receiver that time, Malik Ford, and it goes incomplete. So Dakota State with that wind at their back, that northwest wind. I looked about 15 to 27 miles per hour is that northwest breeze, but with the mist and the dampness of the air, it is a cold one. And now we got a Dickinson State player down, not quite sure which number that is out there for Dickinson State. One of the Hawks went down, but it'll be punt time for Dakota State.
Well, and even if Ford makes that catch on the sideline, he was going to be well short of first down yardage, but the Blue Hawks have a player down. What is it, Dylan Dahlgren? Is that who it was?
Yeah, he's had trouble. He went down at Valley City last week, and now he's kind of nursing that shoulder, and it looks like maybe that's what he was holding on to. That's a guy you don't want out, maybe not today, but you want to have him back maybe for the playoff run. And let's see what they're looking at. Tim Kreit out there, and it's kind of hard to tell. He's laying flat on the floor there, and it doesn't look real promising for Dylan on the defensive side of things. Let's take a quick 30-second break here. We'll come back in just a moment as Dylan Dahlgren down at the 10-yard line for Dickinson State. A punt coming for Dakota State. We'll be back to do it for you in 30 seconds.
Independent, straightforward, caring. It's what we are because we are you. Member-owned, member-focused. Western Cooperative Credit Union. Head west for a financial relationship that works for you.
Ankle. Tell the media it is a lower body injury, but it kind of looks like maybe an ankle.
He's not putting much weight on it, if at all. As a couple of teammates came out to help him off the field, but a loss for Dickinson State. But the one thing you could say about that defensive line, they do have some depth. Of course, you'd like to keep Dylan out there, but he's coming off very gingerly, and the Blue Hawks will get the football back. It should have pretty good field position as Carson Hunter right at midfield for the punt from Dakota State.
So Dickinson State again will... They've had pretty good, darn good field position all day. Again, Ortman will do the punting. Sky's brightened up just a little bit here at the back. We ain't going to see any sunshine. Ortman just got it off. A nice punt. That's going to carry down to Hunter at the 40-yard line. Nice catch by Hunter. And he'll be stopped and he'll be dropped right at about the 37-yard line, I think, is able to do it. But a nice catch by Hunter. I don't know. I thought he was maybe going to let it go, and then I think he realized if I let it go, it's going to roll. So he held it in, and no yardage on the return. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Dickinson State, and they'll put the ball at the 37-yard line, their own 37-yard line.
Good coverage that time by the Dakota State punt team, and Dickinson State, Carson Hunter was at midfield thinking that's where the punt was going to come and went all the way back inside the Blue Hawk 40-yard line.
Yeah, that was a punt of just about 51 yards for Ortman. In motion goes Caldron. They fake to him, then they go straight ahead. That is Zuroff, and Zuroff, he's closing in on 100 yards. Simonson already over 100 yards. That'll be a pickup of 3. And I don't think Dickinson State is going to get very fancy right now. They got that 28-7 lead. They'd like to run the clock a little bit, get some first downs. And, of course, if the points come, that's great. But with that comfort zone of 21 points, you just want to measure this game and shorten it up. Zuroff now on the afternoon for Dickinson State, his 10th carry. He has rushed for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. 2nd down and 7 for Dickinson State. Madler puts the man, Clark, in the motion. He's had a nice day receiving the ball. Long count again by Will as he plays that play clock down. There's Zuroff again. He got nowhere to go. He's going to be dropped for a yard loss on the play. So that'll be a loss of a yard for Zuroff. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 for Dickinson State with the ball at their own 39-yard line.
And a good job by that defensive front for Dakota State as they got right into the backfield and didn't allow Zuroff to get any momentum going forward and dropped him for a loss.
Yeah, good signs on that D-line. Pete Stanton alluded to that. He said maybe as good a defensive front 3 and back linebacking corps as we've played all year long. And at times today they have been tough, but at times they've given up some yards too, and the scoreboard shows it. Again, they've got a chance to stop the Hawks here and get that football back. Madler, here comes the pressure again. They've come from the outside with that blitz. Madler's got time. He fakes and fires, keeps his feet. He's got 1st down yardage. Let's see if he got it or not. I think he did. Yep, he got enough for 1st down yardage. Had to kind of slip and slide and groove and move, and he did just that. So it is a pickup of 7 on the play for Madler, and Dickinson State has their 15th first down.
Well, Dakota State got good pressure on Madler early on as they picked up 3 sacks in that first quarter, but since then, Madler's done a nice job avoiding the pressure and scrambling. Of course, his touchdown run was a scramble for a 3-yard score that time. A great run as he made a couple of nice moves to get just enough for the 1st down.
He puts the man, Clark, in motion to the stack side of the formation. They look downfield again. They give him some room, and again, Madler's just going to run to about the 49-yard line, pick up a couple more yards on the play. Got hit from behind. That'll be a 2-yard pickup.
Good job by the offensive line for Dickinson State to keep that pocket, and then they kind of cleared out in front of Madler, took off, but Dakota State got a good run by Chris Gipi-Bopola as he was able to come up with the tackle in a short gain for Madler.
So Madler puts Zuroff to his right. Gilbert will come in motion with Houle. 2 tight ends, one a sophomore, Houle, one a freshman, Gilbert. Again, ready to go to work on the offensive side. There's a handoff, and again in there, boy, Dakota State is just coming every play with a blitz, and Zuroff got hit from behind. Now he's going to check out as he gets up a little gimpy.
And a good play by the linebacker, Terran Sir, as he was able to get into the backfield and drop Zuroff for a loss, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and long for Dickinson State at their own 45-yard line with just over 10 minutes remaining here in the 3rd.
Dickinson State 28, Dakota State 7. We've got a timeout.
And a player for Dakota State go down. That's the Terran Sir. He was a gentleman that just made the play for a loss, and after he came back, he went down to a knee, and they stopped the clock, and Sir's going to limp off to the far sideline with 10:14 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, he looks like he's hobbling a little bit on that ankle-knee area, so he'll go off. He's going off under his own power, which is good to see. Simonson back in. Simonson and Zuroff have had big days. Zuroff 80 yards rushing, Simonson 116 in the ball game. The Hawks as a team thus far have rushed for 211 yards in this football game. Madler, as Simonson said, trips formation on this 3rd down and 12 for Dickinson State at their own 45. Back to pass Madler. Here they come again. Madler steps away from the pressure. Now gets outside, fires it down there. He's got a receiver, but out of bounds. Clark makes the catch, but outside of the out-of-bounds line, and it'll go incomplete, and it'll bring up a punting situation for Dickinson State. So both teams of possession, both teams to punt. In between, Dickinson got a 1st down, but that's it. Now the punting unit will come on as Nelson will come out for Dickinson State.
And again, Madler had to get away from the pressure, rolled to the right side, saw his receiver open on the far sideline, but just threw it a little too high for Clark to come up with the catch.
There's the punt. Nelson gets it away off the side of his foot into that wind. It'll take a bounce at the 35 and roll out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. And Dakota State will get the football back, but 9:47 remaining to play here in the 3rd quarter. So we're about 5 minutes plus into this 3rd quarter. Neither team has scored. We're at 28 Dickinson State and 7 for Dakota State. And Dakota State will get the ball back, trailing by 21 points at their own 30-yard line. Blue Hawks again working defensively. Let's see who came in for Dahlgren in that defensive line. We'll check a number out here for you. We got as we said, they go 7-8 deep in that D line. I was looking down to see where Dahlgren was at here, but I didn't see him on the sideline. Man goes in motion. They're going to go with the handoff. Ortman trying to get to the outside, coming up, making the hit that time. Nicely done for Dickinson State. A pickup maybe of 2 on the play.
Riley Waters came up and made the big hit. It looked like Ortman was going to get some room to the outside, but Waters able to come up and get the tackle for a short gain for Ortman and the Dakota State Trojans.
2nd and 8 for Dakota State at their own 32. The Trojans just 33 yards rushing. Of course, Ortman well over that, but they've had some losses, tackle for losses, and sacks that have put that down low on the total rushing category. Again, they're going to go right back to Ortman. Again, he's going to go straight ahead, and he's going to be wrapped up. I think Matt Anderson, a big bear hug, just brought him down. Let's see if that is who it is. Indeed it is. Matt Anderson with a nice defensive read, a pickup of 3 for Ortman on the play.
Matt Anderson's had a great career here at Dickinson State. Really came on a couple of years ago as a sophomore, and for the last 2 years has done a great job at that defensive tackle position. The senior out of Jamestown having a nice senior day as well.
Ben Glasscock in there for the injured Dylan Dahlgren. He's one of the many guys they play, and the defensive line, and he's filled in. The Hawks going to go with a 4-man front on this 3rd down and about 5. At their own 35 for the Trojans. Donovan empty backfield after the motion across the middle. It's going to be incomplete. Good read, good coverage that time by Chris Kistler. And we've said his name a few times today. Chris has done a nice job.
Yeah, he's been a defensive player at that outside linebacker position. Of course, like the defensive line, the linebackers, they play a lot of them. And Kistler, one of the backups, came up with a big hit for the incompletion. So a 3 and out for Dakota State, and Dickinson State will get the football back. As back again, Hunter inside the 30-yard line.
Well, Dakota State's had 2 possessions here in the 3rd quarter. Both have been 3 and outs, and that's down to 8:25 left to play. Quarter number 3, Dickinson State 28, Dakota State 7. Hawks trying to make it an unbeaten conference season. Going back, Hunter all the way back, bobbles it. Now he'll pick it up at about the 13, slip 1 tackle, but he won't slip 2 or 3 tackles. He'll be down at about the 14-yard line. So good coverage downfield by Dakota State, and Dickinson State will take over at their own 14-yard line on the CHI St. Alexius Health scoreboard. They lead at 28-7 here at the Bijou Activity Center.
The Blue Hawks had good pressure up the middle, came up just shy of getting the block. Of course, the Hawks had a block punt last week against Valley City State, but Ortman able to get another nice punt and put Dickinson State inside their own 15-yard line. Just 8:12 left here in the 3rd.
Well, Simonson now back into the ball game. Zuroff worked a couple of the last series and then checked himself out after that tackle. Now Simonson back in there. Gilbert will come set at that power fullback position. Hool will go tight right to left. And there's that handoff to Simonson. He'll slip to the outside, keeps his feet going. He's out to about the 25-yard line, and he'll be pushed backwards. I think they'll give him forward progress. They have the ball. Actually, I think it was on the 15. They have the 14 on the board, but I call it the 15. So that's a 5-yard pickup for Simonson.
And a good job that time by Simonson. He just tucked himself behind the tight end. Hool got to the outside and just pushed his way up to the 20-yard line, so a good gain on 1st down for the sophomore Simonson.
8 carries, 121 yards for Simonson in this football game. He was over 100 yards last week at Valley City, over 70 at Jamestown when he filled in the 2nd half. Across the middle, they got Clark, but underthrown. Madler upset with himself. He saw Clark, and I mean Clark was open, and he had the defensive back behind him. If he gets it up around the waist, the numbers, Clark is gone, but he threw it low. Clark tried to dive and make the catch, but couldn't come up with it.
And a good job with the fake by Madler, as they just had one receiver go out, and that was Clark. Everybody else stayed in, and they had a great fake, and Dakota State bit on the fake, and Clark got open, but Madler just unable to connect.
Christian Banks into the ball game. He'll work as a wide receiver for Dickinson State. He'll come up even with the line of scrimmage. Hawks kind of got that trips formation. Now they put the receiver, Clark, in motion to the right, comes back to the left, and they're looking across the middle, looking out front. Madler's got some time. Now he's going to go down a sack. That is the 4th sack of the day for Dakota State, back at the 19-yard line. So we're back at the 14-yard line, which was about the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be a loss of 6 on the play. And Dickinson State goes 3 and out. So these two teams All they're doing in the third quarter offensively is burning time off the clock, which, well, Dickinson State said that's fine with a 28-7 lead, but they'll punt the ball back now to Valley City.
And that was Colin Brueggemann with the tackle, his second sack of the afternoon.
I should say Dakota State, not Valley City. That one into the wind. And again, Dakota State's going to come out of this with good field position. So that'll be a punt from the 14 to the 34, about a 20-yard punt. And Dakota State will come out of there with great field position and a chance to try and close the gap here down 28-7 to Dickinson State.
Best field position Dakota State has had all afternoon, as Dickinson State has really kept them in their own territory, but they'll get a chance here at the 34-yard line with 6:48 left here in the third. So it's a big series now for Dakota State. You get this great field position, got to take advantage of it and get back into the ball game, trailing by 21 at this time.
Dickinson State sets again with that four-man front now. They'll bring four guys up to the line of scrimmage. One of those four, the linebacker, the outside linebacker, they slide a man in motion, does Dakota State. Twin set to the near side. That's the way they look. Out in the flat, they got a receiver out there, but off the hands of Ortman. Donovan had him, and he had some room, but he just kind of threw it a little bit behind him, and he got his hand tied to tip it to the other hand, and he did, but it tipped off to the ground, and it goes incomplete.
And Cooper McLaughlin was coming up to try and make the tackle, but Ortman just unable to pull it in. He got one hand on it, but unable to get the catch, and brings up a 2nd down and 10 for the Trojans.
Donovan now 6 of 13, 65 yards and 1 touchdown pass, no interceptions. Again, the Hawks set that defensive front. Ortman goes in motion, comes around the quarterback, gets the handoff, a little alley-oop handoff, and he's got some room. He's got not first down yardage, but a nice run. Coming up defensively for Dickinson State that time, Jamie Medlock, and that'll be a pickup on the play from the 33 down to the 26, a 7-yard pickup for Ortman.
A well-executed play that time by Dakota State. Just kind of did a loop around the quarterback, and then Ortman got the handoff and went to the right side, got a nice game, brings up a 3rd down and manageable, and 4-down territory for Dakota State as we approach the 6-minute mark here in the third.
Again, in the backfield, Ortman. They'll put the tight end in motion, right to left. Ortman in the shotgun along with Donovan. Back to pass. They go out of the backfield. Well, I was going to say it's intercepted, and there goes Cooper McLaughlin for a touchdown, but he couldn't hold on to it. Went through the hands, to the numbers, to the belly button, and to the ground. It goes incomplete.
A break for Dakota State as instead of Dickinson State being back on the board, Dakota State now with a 4th down remains with the football with 6 minutes remaining. So a big play for both teams, Dakota State offensively, Dickinson State defensively.
Donovan waiting for his team to get set. Quickly into the ball game for Dakota State. Comes Thompson Lake.
That play clock already down to 5.
They're going to have to hurry here. They put Ortman in motion. There he loops again around. Let's see if they run that. Nope, this time they don't. Yep, this time they do, but he throws it away. Good coverage out there by the Blue Hawk. On the coverage, Chris Kitzler again, but no chance for Donovan to complete it. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. And again, Dakota State, well, they will go out on again a series that they could not get going, and then go back to the Blue Hawks.
Well, Kistler, another senior, having a nice senior day as well. He and Matt Anderson, a couple of seniors on that defensive side of the football, coming up with big plays. And, of course, offensively, Will Madler at quarterback, Braden Zuroff at that running back position. A couple of guys up front that are seniors as well.
On 26 is where Dickinson State will take over with 5:56 remaining to play. There's a handoff straight ahead. Simonson again on the carry to the 30. And that'll be a pickup of 4 for Simonson, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 for Dickinson State. Simonson this afternoon, as we said, 9 carries now for 125 yards.
Simonson down on the field. He was kind of hopping around, and then he finally went down at the 31-yard line. And that again on that lower leg injury, knee or ankle for the talented sophomore Simonson.
So Dickinson State, they're waiting. Simonson, 9 carries, 125 yards. He's up. I wonder if he's cramping up or if he twisted. No, he's up. He's getting up slowly, too. Boy, oh boy, this has just been a tailback scenario this year has not been good. So Simonson will hop off. He's putting some pressure on it. But again, I don't think we'll see him. I don't know, did they send in? Let's see who's the new. I don't know if Zuroff's going to come back in. 22 Rist will come in. I don't think they're going to bring Zuroff in. with the playoffs looming next week and again a lead, and they're going to try and get Simonson up on that table and see if he can tape that ankle up. But he has had a big day again in the football game. He's in a little bit of pain down there. There's the handoff, wrist fakes to take. They fired out on the flat. They got the receiver out there. A pickup on the play across the 35 and out near the 40-yard line. Let's see who all that in way across the way.
I believe it's Stinson.
It is Stinson, number 5. Yes, it is. His first catch. That'll go from the 30 out to the 42. So Stinson hauls it in for 12 yards. His first catch of the day.
A great fake that time by Madler as a wrist came up and pretended like he had the handoff, and the Dakota State defense went that way, and a good fake and a nice throw to the sideline and a good run after the catch by Stinson for the first down.
A lot of people over there where the ball went, but Stinson came out of there with it. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Again, wrist, one of the backup runners, and the backup for Dickinson State. He gets the call. He's got nowhere to go. He runs right into the line of scrimmage, and wrist will lose a yard on the play. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 11 for Dickinson State. But I don't know if the concern so much on the field right now as it is for Simonson on the sideline and Zuroff on the sideline for Dickinson State.
I'm just looking at the roster up and down, and we've got Darian Brown, you've got Jackson Simonson, you got the talented senior Braden Zuroff, and now wrist. I don't see any other running backs on the roster, so I know Carson Hunter can come out and do some things offensively in the running game as well.
Again, ready to go to work. In motion comes Ostry for Dickinson State. Madler back to pass. He's got some time. He steps up. He's going to be hit. He's going to be sacked again. That is the 5th sack today for Dakota State. In on the sack, big number 92, Jack Hemman, a sophomore defensive lineman, and that's all the way back to the 36-yard line. That'll be a loss on the play of about 7 for Dickinson State. We'll bring up 3rd down now and 15, so 3rd and 15 for Dickinson State. Gilbert back into the ball game. Wrist will stay in at the running back position for the Blue Hawks. Caleb, a 5'10", 200-pound running back. Madler again, twin receivers left, Solo to the right. There's the count. Madler back to pass. Here comes the pressure again across the middle. Oh, good defensive play. They were trying to get it to Gilbert, and the defensive back came in that's Meineke, at the last second, number 16, and just tipped it away. So on the afternoon now, for quarterback Will Madler, 6 of 13, 120 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and the Hawks will give the ball back. So again, just another turnaround on downs for both teams in this 3rd quarter. Neither team able to get much going offensively. Coming out of that halftime break, you get warmed up, you get kind of chilly, and I guess it works or it doesn't work, and it didn't work very well. Nelson, they're coming big time. He gets it off towards the far sideline. That'll bounce inside the 45, out at about the 43-yard line. Do we have a flag down? Okay, let's hold on and wait and see what the flag is all about.
Well, where the flag is, I'm assuming it's maybe a running into the punter penalty. Oh, it's a personal foul. So that'll be a first down for Dickinson State because it's a personal foul, roughing the kicker.
If we could have seen a replay, I knew he came flying in. I thought he got a piece of him, but I'm not sure. I don't even know if they have running into the punter in the collegiate ranks. I think sometimes it's just roughing the punter, personal foul. But let's take a look at that. Here we go. Let's take a look, and Nelson will get it away. Well, we didn't get quite hit, but he did get banged into pretty good. So,
but again, a break for Dickinson State as they'll get the football back and inside the 50-yard line.
You follow the football. You don't follow the punter. Hey, once he punts it, that was a great job by Stephanie and the crew there. So they follow the punt, and that's what you got to do. First down, number 17 for Dickinson State. So 1st and 10 at the 49 of Dak State. There's a fake of the handoff, dropping back. Oh, he's got a man wide open behind everybody. If the pass doesn't hang, it hung too much. So it goes in. Or did he come up with the interception? Nope, it's incomplete. We'll look at the replay here, but it did bounce off the ground. Man, wide open that time. Was that Banks down there, or is that Stinson? One of the two. And it was incomplete. Boy, he had a step or two on the defender. They just couldn't quite get it to him as it hung up there. Yep, and let's take a quick look at this one here. As again, wide open was Stinson. The pass hung a little bit. The ball tipped in the air, goes to the ground. Yep, there it hit the ground right there, and it's an incompletion. Great work, Stephanie. Thank you. So to bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Dickinson State.
And Michael Johnson, the junior defensive back, came up with the play as he was able to gain ground and get the tip.
Rist will get the carry. He's got a hole. He breaks the tackle and keeps his feet. He goes down at about the 44-yard line. Oh, no, they say, didn't he? Okay, they say he was not down.
I think he got his hand down.
Did he? 37, okay. Yeah. So Rist will pick up 13 on the play, 18 first downs for Dickinson State.
Rist, a sophomore out of Minot, transferred from the University of Mary. So you see that depth really come into play here for Dickinson State. And the officials are going to talk things over, whether they're going to give him the extra 4 yards or if they're going to have him stop at the 43.
You know, I don't know. Stephanie, can you roll the play back and just see if we can take a look at that? Thank you so much, Stephanie. And let's take a look now. There's Rist. He's at the 50. Now clear at the 45. Yeah, that knee went down. Yeah, he's down at the 43-yard line. So right there he went down. So it'll end up being a play. The line of scrimmage was a 49, so it should be a 6-yard pickup, I do believe. Yep, they're going to bring the change back. A good effort by Rist to try and keep it going. I mean, there was nothing wrong with the effort. He had fourth on the carry of 6 yards, and why not keep going if you can get away with it? But again, you look clearly at the replay, and they're making the right call and the right decision, and they'll put it back at the 43-yard line where it belongs with 2:29 left to go. Third quarter, Dickinson State 28, Dakota State 7.
Great job by Stephanie and the folks over at Consolidated to get that replay in and got a nice look at it. So it'll be a 2nd down and 3 for Dickinson State.
You're a good educator, Trace. You're doing a good job. Trace enjoying the game from a different angle today instead of doing the board work, engineering work, and Stephanie, super job. So again, we thank Ron, Trace, and Stephanie, all the crew at Consolidated. Always great to work with them. They just are outstanding, and makes it a lot easier for this old guy from Mott once in a while when you can look at a replay and make sure you're right. Even if you're wrong, at least you get corrected anyway. Now we're ready to go to work. 3rd down and 3 for Dickinson State.
And now the line judge coming over to talk to the official.
Well, let's hold
on. It's
on.
going to take forever.
Wait and see.
Well, yeah, we appreciate the work of the folks at Consolidated. I know there's a lot of people in southwestern North Dakota that get the chance to watch it on Channel 18 and, of course, on the Dickinson State YouTube page as well. So a lot of the parents and grandparents and siblings can get a chance to watch their family members get out on the field and play this game here at the Bijou Activity Center. And I think we've finally got things worked out, and they're going to have the Blue Hawks break the huddle. They're going to start the clock, and we're back in action with 2:15 left to play.
Trey Swanson, I see, has stayed in as he replaced Rollins earlier this game, and he has stayed in, the young man out of Beach. Gilbert goes behind Swanson. Game's a freshman, Trey a sophomore, and they go in motion with Gilbert to that power fullback formation out of the shotgun formation. And there's Rist on the carry straight ahead. He's got a hole at the 40, keeps his feet, and he's inside the 35. And let's see where they finally spot him down out right at the 35. So that'll be a 7-yard pickup for Rist and another first down for Dickinson State. They're 19th of the football game.
Well, it's next man up, and Rist is really taking advantage of his opportunity here this afternoon as Caleb out of Minot, North Dakota has really come up and done a nice job. A 5'10", 200-pounder out of Minot.
Ready to go to work. Madler again. Has Rist to his right, shotgun. They'll go twin set far side. Looks like Clark and Stinson over to the far side. There's the fake of the handoff. They look across the middle. They're going deep again. And can he run under it? Nope. You know what? The wind caught that one. I mean, he had the receiver. I think, let's see, is that Banks maybe, number 2?
No, I think that's Samaj Clark.
It's a number 8. Okay, that is Clark. And it goes incomplete, but again, he was wide open, but again, it got up into the wind. The Hawks moving to the north end, and it's like a curveball. It looked to be right on. All of a sudden, the flags above the goalposts are straight out. The flag, American flag, straight out, and that's what happened. The wind caught it, the wind pushed it, and it goes incomplete. So to bring up a 2nd down and 10.
And a great pattern that time by Clark to get about a step and a half behind the defensive back. Like you mentioned, the wind just kind of caught it and blew it behind Clark in an incompletion.
High snap. Madler keeps it. Madler turns. Madler on the run. He'll run out of bounds. That'll be a short pickup for Will. Not quite sure. You want Madler putting his shoulder down and plowing into people, but Will did that time. Just a short pickup.
Fortunately, that was his left shoulder that he went into the defensive back, the outside linebacker, Cole Paulson.
Hawks 224 yards of rushing, 108 passing, most of that in the first half. They had 311 yards. They now have 332, so neither team has picked up much yardage as we go under a minute remaining to play in this third quarter. 28-7, the score remains the same on the CHI St. Alexius South scoreboard.
Biggest play of this second half has been the roughing the punter penalty.
There you go. Again, they look out in the flap. There, Stinson's got it inside the 25. Nice hands by Stinson. That'll be his second catch of the ball game, and that'll go from the 34 to the 24, a 10-yard reception. And Dickinson State again moves the chains here at the back.
And a good pattern that time by Stinson, and as he cut to the outside, Madler put it right on the hands, and a good catch for the first down for Dickinson State as we're under a half minute remaining here in the third quarter, and Dickinson State will have to run one more play before the quarter is over.
Again, they're going into the wind to the north end here at the back. Long count. There's a handoff. Wrist up the middle. Spins off a tackler. It's going to be down to the 19-yard line, and that'll be a pickup of 5 for Wrist. And it'll be a second down and 5, and the quarter comes to an end. So we've gone through 3 quarters of play on the CHI St. Alexius South scoreboard. The Dickinson State University Blue Hawks 28, the Dakota State University Trojans 7. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter from the back on KTIX for you and Consolidated Live in 60 seconds.
Your path might start at daybreak, getting everyone in their place. You may step out of bounds, or even out on your own. There will be big leaps forward and small steps focused on the grind. No matter what it looks like or where it goes, your path is personal, and that's what makes it powerful. Bravera Bank, Insurance and Wealth. Forge your path.
Launch your TV adventure with the MyTV streaming app from Consolidated. For a limited time, you can get up to 3 free Amazon Fire Sticks, 3 months free cloud DVR service, and a 3-month speed bump to 1 gig. Plus, you'll have a chance to win one of 2 Fire TVs to be given away on December 31st. Here's what our customers are saying about the MyTV streaming app.
The service for you guys to come over and hook it up was fantastic. I love the app. It's easy to use. I would say, by all means, do it.
Make the switch and call Consolidated today.
In the football game this afternoon, 65 rushing and 43 rushing, 65 passing. So for Dickinson State, 2nd and 6 at the 20-yard line. Long count. Back to pass. They look across the middle, off the fingertips down there. Were they trying Gilbert again? Nope.
I believe that was wrist out of the backfield.
Wrist out of the backfield, so it goes incomplete. That little swing pass out of the backfield. 6 of 14 now. 118 yards passing and 1 touchdown for Will Madler. 3rd down and 5, or 3rd down and 6, excuse me, at the Dakota State 20-yard line for Dickinson State.
And again, 4-down territory for the Hawks here, just starting this fourth quarter.
10th play of the drive, although with the wind at their back, they possibly could try a field goal here. There's Hunter on the Wildcat. He breaks the tackle, keeps his feet. I think he's got first down yardage. Nice run by Hunter. He does that well. They needed 6. He got 7. And another first down, 21st first down for Dickinson State.
Same as last time, they put Madler in motion, then Hunter took the Wildcat snap and just took it off the left side and got a great run and gets the first down.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line of Dakota State. 14:25 remaining to play. Got underway at noon, 2 o'clock, so pretty quickly played ball game. We got a ways to go yet, but again, pretty good pace to it. Again, power formation the Hawks go with. A lot of people in the backfield. There's Wrist, and he runs into a white wall of Dakota State Trojans. Great effort up front. Big number 77 started the surge. That is Brooks Jansen, and a host of players finished it off for Dakota State.
Now the Hawks went with a power formation, but Dakota State powered as well, and they got the tackle right at the line of scrimmage.
So 2nd down and 10 at the 13.
Clark coming back in as Austri will check out for Dickinson State.
They look to the sideline. I think the sky's brightened up a little bit, Jimmy, and the wind's still pretty darn strong, about 15 to 30 miles per hour. Now we go out of the northwest, going kind of across the field. Back to pass. Mather, he's got a man open, and there it is. Touchdown, Dickinson State. That is Clark again. That'll be a 20-yard, or make it a 13-yard reception for Clark. Boy, he has just had a dandy year. Touchdown of 13 yards, his fourth catch today in the football game, 57-67, 81 yards on 4 catches, and the touchdown to Clark of 13 gives the Hawks their, well, if you hit the PAT, their season average as far as points are concerned. So Clark is in the end zone, and the PAT by Chase Miller is up. I think he got it through the uprights. He did. So Chase Miller hits it through the uprights. The PAT good, and a nice drive by Dickinson State to end the third quarter and begin the fourth quarter. It is now a 35-7 lead for Dickinson State University on the CHI St. Alexius House scoreboard. We'll come back after that 11-play drive for Dickinson State that covered a total of 51 yards, and the Hawks lead it now 35-7. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
See the new lineup of Hondas and Toyotas at Dan Porter Motors. Dan Porter Motors, 58601.
Activity Center, Dickinson State, 13 minutes and 26 seconds away from their 41st consecutive North Star Conference win. It will be their final one in the history of the North Star. Another unbeaten season in conference play. Kick is taken at the 10-yard line and bringing it out to about the 27. Good coverage downfield that time. See who got it back from. I believe, yeah, that is number 11 getting up with the football, and that is Connors. So that'll be a return of about 20 yards, 24 yards. And Dakota State will go to work. The Trojans have struggled offensively in this quarter, 3 possessions. And let's see, 1, 2, 3 of them have been 3 and outs. This will be their 4th possession of the quarter.
And going back to that touchdown, that was the 10th touchdown catch of the season for Clark, and Madler's 24th touchdown pass on the season.
So again, Dickinson State sets defensively. Dakota State at their own 27-yard line. We've got some new people in there now defensively. Let's check that out. Back to pass, Donovan. He gets a big rush. Now he's going to scramble. Now he's going to throw it out there, and it's going to be dropped. Hartwell on the coverage. Kind of came in behind maybe that time on the receiver, and that is number 6 for Dakota State, Malik Ford, and just couldn't hang on to it. The passing department now 6 of 16 for 65 yards passing, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions for Donovan, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. As we said, new people all galore now for Dickinson State. Rock in there. Looks like number 99, Fred Lundstrom, in there for Dickinson State. Secondary stays the same. Now we got bodies coming hard. Now the Dickinson State Blue Hawks bounce back. Now let's see what we got. Now they'll get reset. The play clock down to 6. Donovan changing the play for Dakota State. He's going to have to hurry. Down to 3, down to 2, down to 1. He just got it off, and there's the fake, and Donovan's going to go straight ahead, and he'll be wrapped up by a host of Hawks. He'll pick up about 4 on the play. Getting up off the pile that time, coming up from the secondary, number 5, making the hit, and that is Riley O'Donnell, actually a linebacker, and that'll be a pickup on the play of 5, or make it 4 for Donovan, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 for Dakota State, the ball at their own 31-yard line. Dakota State just a total of 47 yards rushing. That's rush defense for Dickinson State's been outstanding, allowing, they're, I believe, the top 10 in the nation in rush defense, this defensive unit for Dickinson State. There's the pass. Donovan dropping back. He got some time. He scrambles. He's hit, and he's going to go down after a pickup of a yard. No sack there, but again coming up to make the hit that time for Dickinson State. Number 47, Brent Stenthoff, a sophomore defensive end for the Hawks. And that'll be a pickup of 1, and it'll be punt time for Dakota State. Well, Dakota State, again, just has had 5 series, and I think all 5 have been 3 and out here in the second half. So the defensive unit for Dickinson State really doing a nice job in this football game.
One note we can pass along to you. Chase Miller has been very consistent in kicking this year. He's 45 of 49 on the PATs, and those 45 PATs gets him into the top 5 in individual season extra points for Dickinson State.
Okay. There's note there to know. And Dickinson State will get the ball back as Dakota State had to punt into that strong northwest wind, kind of a crosswind, but once it gets up in the air, it just pushes it from the press box side to the Dakota State side, and it rolls out of bounds, and Dickinson State again will take over. Dakota State just 8 first downs this afternoon in this football game. See, he comes in at quarterback now for the Blue Hawks.
I saw Hunter warming up, and I see he's out on the field along with Rist at the running back position.
All kind of new receivers in there also. We'll try and catch all these guys. You got probably a new offensive line in there too, with about 11:50 remaining and 35-7. Rist gets the call. Rist gets the carry. I think Dakota State maybe playing some new people. There goes Rist again. Well, he's running like Simonson out there. That's a nice carry for him. As Dickinson State starts at their own 49, and that'll be a pickup on the play to the 38. That's an 11-yard pickup for Rist.
Well, when you get the opportunity, you have to make the best out of it, and Caleb's done that job this afternoon with Jackson Simonson out, and also out is Braden Zuroff. And Rist has really taken advantage, and that offensive line has helped him out as well.
Well, we'll get the handoff again, and it's going to be pretty much a dose of Rist and maybe a little bit of Hunter, and Rist will go for 2 yards on that play. Dickinson State, 243 yards rushing. I was going to punch up my thing here and see if that might be close to a season high running the football today. Simonson, before he kind of tweaked that ankle, left, and Zuroff left after the Hawks got the lead 28-7. He was up around 100 yards, had a couple of touchdowns. And then, of course, Rist has come in and played today, and he's had a nice back half of the third quarter and working the fourth quarter. So brings up a second down at the 36, and they're on the little jet sweep that time. They get it to the running back, or the wide receiver that time, number 82, Franklin. And Franklin maybe got back, we'll call it right at the line of scrimmage, so no loss or no gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 8 for Dickinson State at the 36 of Dakota State.
Also in the ball game, the 3rd tight end, Chase Crockett, in there, the redshirt freshman out of Glendive.
Back into the wide receiving corps, we got number 3 in there. That, of course, is Banks. Also on the far side, I want to say number 80, Idler, into the ball game for Dickinson State. 82 goes in motion. That's Franklin on a 3rd down and 8 for Dickinson State. 10 minutes left to go. Hunter back to pass, gets it to Rist, but nowhere to go. It's a completion, but right to the line of scrimmage, so no loss, no gain. Nice read that time by Chris Giapopala. He comes up and makes the hit. So Glee, like Glee Pia, comes up and makes the hit. So Bopala with the hit, and the punt time for Dickinson State is they'll punt the football away.
Well, a nice job by the Blue Hawks.
Try a field goal, excuse me.
Oh, this is going to be a long one.
Well, you got the wind at your back. It's a 53-yarder. Let's see what he can do. 53-yard field goal attempt for Chase Miller.
Miller hasn't kicked a lot of field goals. He's 2 for 4 on the season.
Right hash mark, going to the south end. Good placement. Kick's got plenty of air on it. Did it get through? How about it? It's good. Wow. A 53. They're mobbing Chase Miller out there. A 53-yard field goal attempt by Miller is up and good. Jimmy's going to pull up the record book, so we won't take a break. We'll just keep it right here. 54 is the record? Wow, they should have put it back 1 yard. I think he could have made it from 54. But a 53-yard field goal attempt.
Tyson Nievner, a 54-yarder against Mayville State in 99.
1999. That was a long time ago. What, about 25 years ago? Tyson, your record is safe, but just barely. So he hits the field goal, and that makes it a 38-7 lead for Dickinson State over Dakota State from 53 yards. I think that might earn Miller maybe the...
Well, he's 5 for 5 in PATs and a 53-yard field goal.
I think he could be the special teams player of the week this week in the North Star.
Yeah, he was last week.
If he's not, I'm filing a complaint with the commissioner. Hey, won't do any good, but I'll file it. I said we'll file it anyway. Now, Nick Huntmeyer and the crew do a great job down in Dakota State. Nick, hi to you. So glad he's coming over to be sports information director in the Frontier Conference. That was one of the best moves the Frontier and North Star could make, keeping him in as the key man in the stats and the sports information. He does this a good job. So, again, glad to have him along with. So, again, hello, Nick, down in Madison, if you're listening and with us today. Always a pleasure to work with you. Here's the kickoff. This is a high end-over-end kickoff. It's going to stay in bounds. The bounce is high, and it's taken by one of the up men that time, Perry, I believe. And that'll be brought back across the 15, and it'll be number 1, Perry. They got 2 number 1s here. Tristan Pitt.
Wolf.
Huh? Tristan Pitt. Wolf. Is it Wolf? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
That's who they've got listed on their 2 deep.
Okay, so we'll go with Wolf. And Dakota State might have a new quarterback. Dickinson State again leads at 38-7 on the CHI St. Alexius L scoreboard.
Yeah, it looks like Joey Cole is going to come in at quarterback. Sophomore, 6'4", 185.
So Dakota State takes over at their own 18-yard line, trailing 38-7. So Cole in at quarterback. See if Iverson's in the backfield. They're in a little jet sweep this time, and on the right side on the carry for Dakota State is Malik Ford, and Ford will pick up about 4 yards from the 19. It looks like they spotted at the 19. The board has the 18, but it's the 19. We'll get out to the 24, so that's a 5-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 5 for Dakota State. Again, the Trojans just 53 yards rushing, 65 yards passing in this ball game, and they're looking at 2nd and 6 at their own 24-yard line. Again, a bunch of new people in there for both teams now. Everybody getting some PT time today in the last regular season game. Eddie Merrill will stay in at tight end. He's just a freshman. He's the starter, but a freshman, so you know they want to give him some time. There's Cole on the carry. He's got nowhere to go. Wow, they bellied him up. Let's see who came up. Number 7. Is that number 7 coming up and making the hit for Dickinson State, or number 9? That was number 9, and that is
Chase Selly.
Chase Selly from Dickinson High. Nice read by the former midget, and he came up and put the lick on him, and that'll be no pickup on the play, and it'll be 3rd down and 6.
Not a former midget. Once a midget, always a midget.
Okay, well.
So he's a midget Blue Hawk.
He used to play for the midgets. Now he plays for the Blue Hawks. You
He's
got
a
it right.
midget Blue Hawk.
Midget Blue Hawk. There you go. A mid-hawk. How about that? There we go. 3rd down and 6. Again, Cole at quarterback now. Both teams emptying their benches. There's some pressure. He gets it out in the flat underthrown. It'll be punt time now for Dakota State. I'm going to check this out, but I have Dakota State 6 possessions, Jim, and every possession has been 3 and a punt, 3 and outs in the second half.
I think you are correct on that as the Blue Hawk defense, whether it's the starters or the backups, have been doing an outstanding job this afternoon as they've been able to put pressure on the quarterback. They've been able to stop the run and just really have done a nice job. And, of course, the offense has come out and taken some drives and taken some time off the clock and give those defensive players a little bit of a break as well.
8 first downs in the game. Hunter's going to let that one bounce around and go out of bounds at about the 46-yard line of Dakota State. So with 7:32 remaining to play in the 4th quarter, the Hawks will have the ball. Don't forget also coming up this evening, and you're invited, and everybody's invited to the Blue Hawk Booster inductions. It's senior night, Blue Hawk Booster Award night. Dwayne Monlux, Brian Zupke also going in, and Doug Pasnick into the Blue Hawk Booster Award honors circle, and then all 23 seniors will be honored. It'll be a full house tonight at the Eagles. That ceremony begins at 5. It's about a 90-minute ceremony. It's always a nice ceremony, a good ceremony to honor the seniors and the award winners. 5 o'clock will be the start time at the Eagles tonight. Again, Dickinson State takes over, and they do so at their own 46, and on the carry, just being run out of bounds, or at their own 45. And on the carry that time, was that wrist again?
Nope, Idler.
Idler again on the jet sweep. So Idler will pick up about, let's see where they put it down, at 2 yards on the play for Idler. Dickinson State again, as we said, closing in on 400 yards in total offense in the ball game.
Of course, that presentation tonight, it's all dependent upon how long those award winners talk.
All right, ready to go again. Hunter at quarterback with 6:55 left to go, 38-7. Again, Dickinson State in the lead. Hand off straight ahead. Wrist just powers to the 40-yard line, and he'll pick up, let's call it 3 on that play for Wrist. So 3 yards for Wrist on the play. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5, so 3rd and 5. Again, number 72 checking into the ball game for Blue Hawks. They're trying to get all the offensive players in there. And I don't have a number 72 in my roster.
It was 12. Jace Freeze is
Oh,
coming
no,
out.
but I meant offensive line, number 72. I got an older roster here that I taped down, and I didn't put the new one up. So Freeze will come in and play quarterback for Dickinson State. Again, ready to go on 3rd and 5. Jace will take the snap. Long count again. Play clock down to 3, down to 2. Jace got it, steps back. He'll tuck it. Let's see if he's going to run with it. He is. He'll pick up some yardage. Not enough for first down yardage, though. Again, he'll be brought down at about the 37-yard line. So we'll give him a pickup of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a, let's call it a 4th down and about 3 to go for a first down. So 4th down and about 3.
Well, let's see. They're at the 38. You go back 7. They're at the 45. So to kick a 55-yard field goal.
I think they're going to take it. They're going to just go for it here on 4th down as Freeze puts a wrist to his left, comes out with tripped receivers to the near side, trying to get a first down here and burn some more of the clock as Freeze barks out signals, straight back, got some pressure, steps up from behind. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. So he'll be brought down, so no loss, no gain on the play for Dickinson State, and the ball will go back to Dakota State on a turnover on downs by Dickinson State University.
Good coverage downfield again for the Trojans of Dakota State as on back-to-back plays. They made the quarterback Freeze scramble and able to stop him shy of first down yardage, and the Trojans will get the football back at the own 39-yard line.
So the Blue Hawks again lead this series between Dakota State and Dickinson State. 26 wins, only 2 losses. Dakota State hasn't won a game against Dickinson State since 2015 was their last victory against Dickinson State nearly 10 years ago.
And for some reason, every time the Blue Hawks go to Madison, it's a tough ball game.
Straight ahead on the carry. Let's see, we got all kinds of new people in there. They're untangling. Dakota State taking over at their own 38. Never did get the number on. I think it was Iverson, if I'm not mistaken. And Iverson will pick up from the 39 to the 42. That is 3 yards on the play. So we'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. Dakota State looking for their first down of the second half. They have had 6 offensive series, and all 6 have been 3 and outs for Dakota State. Again, Cole working at quarterback. Both teams now playing all kinds of new people. A few of the regulars in there, and then we got penalty flags down. We have motion against Dakota State, and Cole's just going to throw it away. It'll go incomplete. Not sure if the Hawks will want to take the penalty or not.
I think the receiver in motion turned upfield before the snap.
Yep. Going to talk it over. Reed Floggen, our official.
It'll either be 2nd and 12 or 3rd and 7. See if the Blue Hawks are going to take it or turn it down.
Reed Floggen now coming towards the stands.
Come on, Reed.
Coach Thayer down there.
Yep, they're going to take it.
They're going to take the penalty, 5-yard penalty. All right. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 12. So 2nd down and 12. 4:24 remaining to play on the CHI St. Alexius South scoreboard. Well, the moisture has stopped. The wind hasn't. The cold hasn't. But all in all, a very positive day for Dickinson State here at the back. Back to pass Cole. Got some pressure. Gets away from it. Looks across the middle. He's got a receiver open, but it's underthrown. Trying to come up with the catch. Back on the coverage for Dickinson State that time. Number 37, Connor Hatch, a freshman defensive back. And it brings up a 3rd down and 12, so on the incompletion.
Now the ball was just underthrown a little bit to Jaquan Connors, and he was unable to pull it back up, and the incompletion brings up a 3rd down.
Cole 0 for 2. The quarterbacks combined for Dakota State 6 of 18. Between Donovan and Cole. Donovan with the 1 touchdown pass, no interceptions for 65 yards. Dakota State now 120 yards in total offense in this football game, and Cole's going to run a little option, gets it off to Iverson, and he's going to be short of first down yardage. He goes from the 37 out to about the 47, 46 yard line. See where they spotted down at, right at the 46. So it'll be about 3 yards shy on the play. So that'll be a pickup on the play of about 8 that time for Iverson.
This will bring up a 4th down and manageable for the Trojans. A 4th down and, let's see, with long 3, short 4, whichever you prefer.
We're at the 46, need to get to the 49. Of course, they're going to go for it here with 3:45 remaining. Down 38-7 on the CHI St. Alexius South scoreboard. Why not? There is the snap. Cole back to pass across the middle. Did they come up? They did. There's their first down. Nice catch out there. Coming up with the catch that time, number 4. That is Keeney coming up with the catch that time for Dakota State. Keeney with the catch, and that goes from the 46 to the of Dickinson State to the 49. 5-yard reception and enough for a first down. 8 first downs now for Dakota State in the football game. 70 yards passing in the contest.
A good job by Keeney to kind of block out the defensive back and make the catch just across midfield.
Dickinson State resets defensively. 1st and 10, 49 of DSU. Dickinson State U. Back to pass. Cole has some time. The ball underthrown that time. Trying to come over the top defensively and come up with a pick. Looks like number 24 again, Kyler Hollock, but he could not come up with it. 20th pass attempt of the ball game for Dakota State, and it brings up a 2nd down and 10 for the Trojans. Let's see, we've got number 96 in there. Mace Stuber now into the ball game. Number 95 into the ball game for Dickinson State.
Ty Bennick.
Okay, Ty Bennick into the ball game. All right, there we go. Number 95.
Logan Keel also in that defensive line.
Okay, 2nd down and 10, 49 of Dickinson State. They put a man in motion. Ball is fumbled. Who got on top of it? I think Dakota State did. One of their players got back on top of it. They did a good alert play. That's Ortman in the ball game. So Ortman, I was surprised he was back in the ball game. Bring up 3rd and 11. That'll be a loss of a yard on the play.
Jackson Mack checking in at that defensive linebacker position. Bryce Damagala coming in and that defensive front for the Hawks.
Coach Ortman, a senior. He's going to stay in. His career will end today here if he doesn't have another year of eligibility left. So Ortman stays in the ball game. 2:15 and the clock rolling, remaining to play. We'll have the 2-minute warning upcoming here after this play. If we get down there, looks like we will. Back to pass, they're looking. There he scrambles. Now he runs. Now he's going to be hit and brought down at about the 47-yard line. Good pursuit by Dickinson State that time.
Good open midfield tackle by Dalton Tweet, the linebacking position.
So there's our 2-minute warning on the CHI St. Alexius South scoreboard. That'll be a pickup on the play of 3 yards, or make it 4 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2-minute timeout. We're back in 60 seconds on Consolidated and KDIX. 38-7, Dickinson State in the lead.
Banking is some of the most important things in your life, and banking at the right bank is very important. We're really proud of our bank because we have great people, and our people are what make our bank go. We always want to treat our customers right and do the best job we can for them, and try to do things to help make our communities better.
Incomplete one. Remind you that if you're a Dickinson State alumni looking to give back to your alma mater or stay up to date on events taking place at DSU, contact the Dickinson State Heritage Foundation. They provide scholarships for students, events for alumni throughout the year, and they strive to be the premier support for the university's global learning environment. Interested in learning more? Contact the team at 701-483-2486 or visit the DSUHeritageFoundation.org. We'll have DSU Heritage Foundation bringing you our play of the game a little bit later in the postgame. That pass goes incomplete, so it brings up 4th down. And looks like, are they going to punt
that was 4th down.
Oh, that was 4th down, so the incompletion will give Dickinson State the ball back. Again, wrist on the carry. He just goes straight ahead for a couple of yards, so Rist will pick up 2 more yards. Blue Hawks, 255 yards of rushing today, 131 passing, 386 total yards in the football game. Second down, Hawks a couple more snaps, and this one should pretty much be in the book. 2nd and 8 at their own 49-yard line. Into the ball game now, number 81. A couple of new players in for Dickinson State. Hawks again reset that offense. Jays Freeze at quarterback. Long count. There's the give. Rist has got a little bit of a hole. He'll dive to the 45. That'll be a pickup of 6 on the play for Dickinson State.
There's an injured Trojan on the field.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 with 52 seconds remaining, and I think the Hawks can probably just take a knee here, most likely, and just
yeah, because by the time they take a snap, it would get the play clock under, or the game clock under 40. So you run a play here, and then the rest of the clock will wind down, and you can head indoors and try and warm up.
There's the snap. There's Rist on the carry. He breaks the tackle at the 40, fights down to the 41, and that will be a pickup from the 43 to the 39 to make it a pickup of 6 on the play. And that will bring, and the Hawks again will wrap up a perfect regular season in the conference. They go to 9-1 overall, 7-0 in conference play. No, make it, 7-0 in conference play for Dickinson State. No, 8-0 for Dickinson State in conference play. And Dakota State will end their regular season at 6-4, and they will go to 5-3 in conference play. Dickinson State wins it 38-7 on the CHI St. Alexius House scoreboard. 41 state conference wins, and the conference officially has come to an end. Jamestown and Valley City done earlier today. So in the North Star Athletic Association, the football book will close on everything right here at the back this afternoon as Dickinson State makes it 41 consecutive wins. They go perfect in the conference season for the 2nd year in a row. And again, they come out of there for the victory for Dickinson State. Again, up 38-7. We've got our post-game show up and coming from KTIX and Consolidated. We'll take a quick break here, and then we'll come back in about, let me take a look here. What do we got here? About 3 minutes. We'll be back in 3 minutes with the post-game show from the Bijou Activity Center. Your final on Consolidated Live Television and KTIX Radio. Dickinson State 38 and Dakota State 7.
Big Boy Toys. DTE.
The Eagles Club in downtown Dickinson is the best place to get together with your friends and enjoy a nice cold beverage any time of the day. They have weekly lunch specials from 11 to 1:30 and beer and wings Thursdays from 5 to 9. The Eagles is also available for your special event. Call now to reserve your date. You'll find everything the Eagles is planning on their Facebook page, and you can check out their monthly calendar to see all the entertainment and events going on. Whether you're looking for something different for lunch or something fun to do with your friends, try the Eagles in downtown Dickinson.
At Infinity Real Estate Group, we go to great lengths to find the answers to most any questions our clients may have. We strive to do our best to personalize your buying or selling experience with first-hand knowledge.
I love this area. How close to Dora are we?
Oh, just a hop, skip, and a bike ride away.
When it's time to choose the team to represent you with all your real estate needs, choose Infinity Real Estate Group. Experience the Infinity way.
Infinity Real Estate Group.
As your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we wear many hats. We take pride in serving our members and our community by going the extra mile in everything we do. Because we not only work here, we live here.
The Hub in North Dickinson is more than your ordinary convenience store. From Godfather's Pizza and the Hub Cafe to gourmet coffee, tea, and more. Stop by early for breakfast or grab something to go. We carry a variety of donuts that we make fresh every day. If your vehicle is dirty, we now have a state-of-the-art car wash at both locations. Stop in and see what we have to offer at the Hub located on North Highway 22 or the Hub West Dakota Oil on East Villard in Dickinson. We're changing the way people think about the convenience store industry.
Independent, straightforward, caring. It's what we are because we are you. Member-owned, member-focused. Western Cooperative Credit Union. Head west for a financial relationship that works for you. Dependable, trustworthy, fair. It's what we are because we are you. Member-owned, member-focused. Western Cooperative Credit Union. Head west for home and auto loans that work for you.
Today for Consolidated running the things. You did a superb job. Thank you, Stephanie, today. And the camera crew today also from Consolidated. A great team to work with, and it was fun to do the game today here on Consolidated and KDI. Again, 38-7, your final score. Our scoring recap, let's do it for you. Will Madler got the scoring underway to Gage Gilbert for a 20-yard touchdown pass to PAT Miller good, 7-0. Braden Zuroff then went 41 yards for Dickinson State and scored a touchdown. Miller again hit the PAT 14-0 with 12:52 left to go before halftime. Then A.J. Donovan hit a long pass to his tight end, Eddie Merrill, of about 54 yards, set up a touchdown pass moments later to Malik Ford for 1 yard. PAT good, and that made it 14-7. Then Dickinson State in the final 90 seconds scored 14 points to really break this game open. Braden Zuroff went for a 3-yard touchdown run. Miller hit the PAT. 67 seconds left to go in the first half. Dickinson was up 21-7. And then Dakota State went 3 and out, 3 pass plays, all incompletions. Hawks got the ball back with about 58 seconds left, and they scored with 11 seconds when Madler took it in on a little quarterback delay, and Miller hit the PAT 28-7 at halftime, and then the scoring closed out in the fourth quarter. No scoring in the third quarter. Madler to Samaj Clark for 13 yards. Miller the PAT made it 35-7, then 9-12. Chase Miller brought the crowd to their feet as the presentation by Roger Turnus, the commissioner, going on the field down there for the conference championship, their 10th in a row. Miller brought the crowds in the suites and in the field and then the stands to his feet with a 53-yard field goal attempt, just 1 yard off the school record. That made it 38-7, and that's the way the final score read. Team numbers: Dickinson State just a yard short of 400 total yards. They rushed for 256, passed for 143, and had a total, Madler 9 of 19, had a total of 66 plays for 399 yards for Dickinson State. Dakota State, again, had a total of 37 rushes for 58 yards, 7 of 21 between Donovan and Cole passing. One touchdown goes that to Donovan. Madler had the 2 touchdown passes for Dickinson State, 7 of 21 for 70 yards, 58 plays, 128 yards in total offense for Dakota State. They had 1 turnover. They lost a fumble. Dickinson State did not turn it over. Really quite a deal. Both these teams playing in misty, damp weather. It's kind of let up now. The skies have brightened. Looks like we might even get some sunshine, but the game over here in a pretty quickly played ball game, done by 2:30, so 2.5 hours. And Dickinson State did not turn it over. Dakota State had just the 1 turnover in the football game. Third downs, Dakota State 4 of 16. The Blue Hawks, a good job today, 8 of 15, and the Hawks 4 of 5 in the red zone. Dakota State 1 of 1. Individually for Dickinson State, again, 8 of 18 for Madler, 143, 1 of 1 for Hunter, no yards. Jace Freeze, again, 2 rushes for 1 yard today. And again, Zuroff and Simonson. Zuroff did go out, not really an injury, but he just went out and took himself out and then did not come back in with that lead at 28-7. 10 carries for 78 yards. Simonson went out. His looked a little more serious with that ankle. He had 9 carries, 126 yards. His second 100-yard rushing game in the football game. Averaged 14 yards a carry. Zuroff nearly 8. Rist had 11 carries for 48. So the Hawks, again, big day rushing the football. Credit to that offensive line. Receiving for Dickinson State, Gage Gilbert 2 for 43, a touchdown of 20 yards. Clark 4 for 78, and a touchdown catch in the ball game of 13 yards. Stinson had a couple of catches, and Rist had a catch. For Dakota State, Tice Ortman 18 carries, 66 yards. Receiving in the ball game, Eddie Merrill 1 catch for 40 yards. Malik Ford had 3 catches for 6 yards and a touchdown. Ortman averaged 32 yards a punt in the ball game. Nelson averaged 21 yards a punt in the ball game. And as we said again, just 1 turnover Dakota State, and Dickinson State did not turn it over. And Jim's got all kinds of defensive numbers to pass along.
Well, for Dakota State, Colin Brueggemann, they had the best day on defense. He had 12 total tackles, also had a couple of quarterback sacks, 5 tackles in the ball game for Brooks Jansen. For Dickinson State, Jackson Willems had 6 tackles. He had a half a sack, also 6 tackles for Matt Anderson. He had a sack in the ball game. Dylan Dahlgren had a sack, and Chris Kistler had half a sack for Dickinson State. So the Blue Hawks defense really stepped up and performed extremely well. I believe gave up just 1 first down in the whole second half and really kind of dominated this football game. The lone breakdown was that long pass downfield. It was caught by Merrill that set the Trojans up at first down and goal inside the 5 and eventually led to their lone score of the day. But other than that, the Blue Hawk defense just dominant this afternoon as they came away giving up just 7 points on the season average, giving up 13, so a little underneath their average on the defensive side of the football. But offensively, the running game was just outstanding. That offensive line did a great job. And, of course, that running game got pretty deep. Zuroff got the start. He went out after 10 carries. And then Simonson had a great ball game, another 100-plus yard day, his second in a row before he went out with an injury. And then Caleb Risk came in and really did a nice job. That third back came in and did a nice job running the football and continuing to give the Blue Hawks some first downs and run that clock and come away with that 38-7 victory. And, of course, another outstanding day kicking the football for Chase Miller, a perfect 6 of 6 on the, or rather 5 of 5 on the PATs. He's up to 45 extra points on the season, which ranks in the top 5 single-season efforts for kicking. And then we're just a yard shy of the school record for the field goal with that 53-yarder. Tyson Nievner had a 54-yarder in 1999 that holds the record, but just a good all-around performance for Dickinson State. The only concern is that those running backs are a little banged up, and of course Dylan Dahlgren went out with an injury in the ball game as well, and concerned because he's just had an outstanding season in that defensive line for Dickinson State.
The last 3 weeks have really been like a mass unit for Dickinson State, and they're mass unit type of stars for Dickinson State with Zuroff, Simonson, Dahlgren, a couple of other guys.
Darian Brown.
Will Rollins, a great offense, all-conference offensive lineman, banged up today, and you only got a week to get ready. They know they're in the playoffs. That's not sure. Jimmy, we've got a message from the Heritage Foundation. I've got 3 plays of the game I'm going to throw at you, and then I'm going to let you pick which one it has to be. But reminder, if you are you a Dickinson State alumni, and are you looking to give back to your alma mater or stay up to date on events taking place at Dickinson State? Contact the Dickinson State Heritage Foundation. They provide scholarships for students, events for alumni throughout the year, and strives to be the premier support for the university's global learning environment. Interested in learning more? Contact the team at the DSU Heritage Foundation at 701-483-2486 or visit dsuheritagefoundation.org. Hawks are up. I got 3 plays. Zuroff's 41-yard touchdown run, Simonson's 55-yard run when he came in to replace Zuroff, or Chase Miller's 53-yard field goal. You get the pick. Which one?
Well, I had something totally different.
Well, you go with your player.
I wasn't going to go with a play. I was going to go with plays. About 67 seconds of plays when Dickinson State opened up the lead. They came away, got the touchdown from Braden Zuroff from 3 yards out to get it to 21-7. The defense came in, got a 3-and-out, and the Blue Hawks went downfield, and Will Madler got the 3-yard touchdown run. So that final minute and 7 seconds, Dickinson State went from 14-7 to 28-7 at halftime. So we're going to go with a series of plays for Dickinson State as they put up 14 points in just a little under a minute to end the first half and break the ball game open. And really, Dakota State was never back in it after that. As that whole third quarter, it was all punts for Dakota State. And in fact, the second half, I believe Dakota State only had one first down in the second half, but it was that minute 7 seconds that really broke it open and led Dickinson State to the victory this afternoon by a final of 38-7. But we'll give honorable mentions to your idea, but I just went with a series because that was kind of an important part of the ball game where the Hawks broke open a close ball game and went into halftime instead of being up only by 7 or 14, went into halftime up by 21.
All right, that's way better than what I had. But anyway, that's our play of the game. We got to come back and pick our player of the game, and we'll do that for you after this from ND Pharmacy.
West Dakota Oil and Fitterer Oil Company proudly offers products and services that help fuel our customers' lives with clean-burning propane and bulk fuel and convenient on-site delivery with premium farm and road fuels. We provide energy where and when you need it most, with locations throughout Southwest North Dakota. West Dakota Oil and Fitterer Oil Company. Locally owned, locally strong. The products you need with the service you deserve.
Play of the game. I'm going to let you pick the player of the game. You go for it.
Well, just like the play of the game, I went with a series. Well, I'm going to go with the three-headed monster in the backfield as the Blue Hawks had a great day running the football with Braden Zuroff, the senior, 10 carries for 78 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Great performance again by Jackson Simonson before he went out. 9 carries for 126 yards. He had a 55-yard run that set up a score. Zuroff had that 41-yard run for the touchdown and added a 3-yard run. And we'll add Caleb Rist to that group as well. He came in and 11 carries for 48 yards after Zuroff went out to the ball game. Of course, he's kind of nursing an injury, and then Simonson with that lower leg injury as well. And so we'll go with the three-headed monster of Zuroff, Simonson, and Rist as our players of the game, as those guys led the way. And a special tip of the cap as well to that offensive line, as they just had a great ball game, especially in the run game. The pass game kind of struggled a little bit as Dakota State got a lot of pressure on Will Madler. I believe had 6 sacks in the ball game, but in the running game, that offensive line really came up big. And like we mentioned, Zuroff, Simonson, and Rist, the three-headed monster in the backfield, will be our ND Pharmacy player of the game. As the Hawks sit back, enjoy this, and tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening, they'll find out when and where they will play as the pairings come out late tomorrow afternoon or early tomorrow evening.
When, who, and where. The 3 W's. Great job, Jim, on the color commentary and on the play of the game and players of the game. I would have never went that way. That's the way to go. That was an excellent selection. So, Dickinson State finishes up 9-1, 8-0 in conference play. Still an amazing streak. 41 wins in the row in conference play. In 2019, right, Jim, was the last loss of Valley City State, end of October. Since then, they have never tasted defeat. 2020, 21, 22, 23, and 24. To me, that is simply amazing. And for the Blue Hawks, it ended today at home. Hopefully, they'll be back at home next week in an NA. They haven't been at home, speaking of streaks. They've played 12 playoff games since 2015. 12 have all been on the road. Their last playoff game was at home in 2004, so that's about 20 years. We'll see what happens tomorrow with the rankings and the ratings and the ARC and all that stuff. It's out of our control, but we'll still let you know, and I'm suspecting, I think around 4 or 5 o'clock is when it will become official tomorrow. We'll let you know, and wherever it is, we'll be with the Hawks. If it's here, we'll be here. If it's on the road, we'll be on the road. But today, senior day, a very successful ending as Dickinson State defeats Dakota State by a score of 38-7. For Jim Dow, for Stephanie, for Trace, the whole crew from Consolidated, all of our great sponsors on both places, I thank you for joining us today from the back. A quick game today, about 2.5 hours. Don't forget, the Blue Hawk Boosters Award winners tonight, Doug Pasek, Brian Zupke, Dwayne Monlux. That ceremony begins at 5. They also honor all 23 seniors. It is open to the public. We encourage you to take it in at the Eagles tonight. It'll be a fun event, about a 90-minute event tonight that will take place at the Eagles beginning at 5 o'clock to about 6:30, 7 o'clock. We hope you can take it in. But for Jim Dow, For Stephanie, for Trace, and the crew from Consolidated, all of our great sponsors on both stations and both locations, I'm Rod Kleinian. Have a great afternoon, and so long, everyone, from the Bijou Activity Center, where Dickinson State ends regular season play with their 10th consecutive conference championship, 41 consecutive straight wins in conference play. They do it in impressive fashion, offensively and defensively, over Dakota State, 38-7. Have a great afternoon, everyone.